Pink caddy driving, black boots stomping, yes.
Y2C tribe, man, we back, like storm, no. Y2C tribe, man, we back, like storm, no. Y2C tribe, man.
Y2C, in case you didn't know. Hey, wake up. Wake up. Stay up. Wake up. Keep your mind on your money and your third eye on the prize. Wake up. Head to the street while the television terrorizes. Wake up. They might say they care about you, but they don't. You can't wait for them to say it, cause they won't. You thinking it's alright, but you're wrong. Look, listen, wake up. Hey yo, this is for all of my people ready, willing, and able. It's hard to keep your mind stable with all of these false fables. Politicians acting like their name was Clark Gable. Spitting the same old yaddy yaddy, lame-o, saying they hold you down and then lead you into a tornado. I can't get down with that. You the same one told me that the world was flat. Told me and my people that our skin was black. Flooded drugs in the hood so the pen could stack. We only dealing with facts. You wishy-washy, wearing too many hats. Killing animals because you got them out of their habitat. Love to keep the ones with melanin locked up or in a trap. All my real people know that's whack. Take that piece of the pie, but you can have it back. Wake up. Keep your mind on your money and your third eye on the prize. Wake up. Head to the street while the television terrorizes. Wake up. They might say they care about you, but they don't. You can't wait for them to say it, cause they won't. You thinking it's alright, but you're wrong. Listen, wake up.
Rise like the solar, cool as a polar. Keep it fresh by the bed, turn out the BS off my shoulders. As I get out on this grind, trying to focus on the climb. Realize over time, I'm my own soul controller while I'm dodging these boulders. Holding my cojones on myself, I place the onus on my own worst opponent, the bonus. Now that I know the enemy, focus my energies on my weaker tendencies. With yourself, you gotta have an honest, hard conversation that'll lead you to some doubt and some deep contemplation. That's the moment that my eyes saw the situation differently. Focus on tomorrow with the ear to my history. Lessons learned from mistakes that it burn. Time heals old scars, put the ashes in the urn. Some things you gotta earn. Money and respect, keep your eyes open wide and your antenna on connect.
Wake up. Keep your mind on your money and your third eye on the prize. Wake up. Head to the street while the television terrorizes. Wake up. They might say they care about you, but they don't. You can't wait for them to say it, cause they won't. You thinking it's alright, but you're wrong. Look, listen, wake up.
Life ain't no joke. You got the code, know how to cope with the camouflage and flow. Above all this mess like a hawk with GPS. 1, 2, 3, ABC, ABC and CBS. You and me got G.O.D. Chemistry above the rest. The best who can go through and pass any test. My chest full of new pool, not in the gas and flesh. A modern day Mr. Magoo, they know the X. Greater than them, less than. Join together forms an X-Man. Best man, finesse man, bringing news like less test man. Good through your hoods, now cities believe in stress. And if it's good, you will stick around. Be still an X-Man, X-Man, X-Man. Perceiving and trust there. See, I've been moving ever since I was born. Mount the sacred cow to know how to transform.
Wake up. Keep your mind on your money and your third eye on the prize. Wake up. Head to the street while the television terrorizes. Wake up. They might say they care about you, but they don't. You can't wait for them to say it, cause they won't.
Secretary Chief Nanya Shopwell. Now the copper trumpet. And so, after a silence of over 3,000 years, these two voices out of Egypt's glorious past have gone echoing across the world.
Timta, Rawari La Antatin, Ahlan Jawahed. Welcome everyone to our Talk and Standing Process webinar on this special day on the UN International Day for the World's Indigenous People. First, I'm going to do our invocation and translate it, and then we're going to get started. Timta. Abdur Kul Shah Yuat Bi Wasamus Pa Timta. Hasa Fi Pa Ren Shil Pa Timta. Inen Atha Kul Fi Istat Bas Shil Pa Timta. Wa Kul Istat Bas Shil Pa Timta. Kalun Korna Hasa Inen Atha Wa Kor Pa Timta. Wa Hasa Pa Timta. Kalun Wa Korna Hasa Inen Atha Kul Dik Inen Ahtigua Kor Pa Timta. Wa Hasa Hatugna Kalun Li Kawun Kor Pa Timta. Hasa Inen Atha Najuhmul Kor Pa Timta. Wa Hasa Pa Timta. Kalun Najuhmul Korna. Hasa Inen Atha Da Iman Kor Pa Timta. Wa Hasa Pa Timta. Kalun Da Iman Korna. Hasa Pa Timta. Kalun Inen. Hasa Pa Timta. Yakul Inen Aikilua. Hasa Pa Timta. Dura Inen Admilua. Amun. Rawari La Antutin. The translation is such. Now in the name of the all. Now we are in the consideration of the all, and now all consideration is with us. Now we are one with the all, and now the all is one with us. Now we are all we need with the all, and now our need is for being with the all. Now we are always with the all, and now the all is always with us. Now we are successful with the all, and now the all is successful with us. Now the all is, we are. Now the all can, we can. Now the all does, we do. This is what we do first, is invoke the spirit realm, the ancestors, our DNA, our etheric family, in all that we do. That's the key, especially with what's happening now. So welcome everyone to our Talk and Standing Process webinar. We're going to do some house cleaning first. So Jeremiah and Empress Amur, please put your email as your username so we can keep track of the emails, know who you are, and as you're going through the process step by step, it's easy for us to follow everything. And how you do that is go to participants, find your name, and when you click on your name, you'll see two blue buttons. The far one that says more, click on that, and a drop-down box will come up that will say rename. So do that, and if you're having problems, let me know, then we'll just go through it again in 5 minutes. So I'll give you some time to make that change. So this is a special day because today is the United Nations International Day for the World's Indigenous People, which I did participate in. So for those that's on link to Autochtons, you should have seen the posts here. Let's see here, what do we do? All right, so everyone should be able to see that. And I'm just gonna scroll up to earlier today. So this is the International Day of the World's Indigenous People. So excellent picture here. Look at the subtle stuff, who's in the center. Generally what happens is when you have a picture, the focal point is generally in the center of the picture and not so much to the sides. That's why sometimes when Black people who are in the modeling industry, entertainment industry, when they take pictures, they want them off to the side. They never like them in the center of a picture, unless it's, you know, a Black photographer, etc. So this is leaving no one behind, Indigenous peoples, and the call for a new social contract. This right here is ridiculous. And I talked about this. We have some video footage. I haven't put it up yet. I'll have that up shortly. The etymology of new social contract basically comes down to new shrinking of Indigenous people as corporations have overtaken Indigenous people. And so now they're saying a new social contract. And the next problem with the UN is the fact that a lot of the people who work there, a lot of the people in these different societies, these NGOs, IPOs, CSOs, they're attorneys. So their first obligation is to the court. So that has got them in a clear conflict of interest unless we bring that point up to start asking these people. And someone actually did make mention of it, vetting people before they start putting these events together. Because if they're an attorney, they're being directed by the IBA, that's the International Bar Association, where they want things to go off into a particular direction. All right, so that was that. That's the site there. And then this was my invitation that I got. So this is being recorded, so we're going to put this up here, you know, depending on how much cloud we got, but we're going to put this up on the net so everybody can see. The next thing I want to show, because there's just another problem, you got people out there saying, oh yeah, we know how to change your status from Black to white and claim your Indigenous standing, but none of them are recognized at the United Nations. So what it is a lot of domestic Negroes running around, some of which who are on our webinar and got certificates from me. So it's interesting how people can just be easily led astray. And I'm going to do the other one here. I'm just pulling up the UPR report publishing that we did. And then I'm going to pull up the search. So if you go to a search for our nation, you're going to see our nation listed in the UN website for search. Okay, here's the search center. So let's start off with this one first. I'll put this in the chat so people will have it. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. If you have a document that I have to prove for you, please put it in the chat. If you have a video that I got to prove, please put it in the chat. So this is at Cicada Nation, UN search page. So all of the people who are out there who are doing what we're doing and then charging people on top of that. So what they do is they put a whole bunch of documents together and then charge people. We're doing it for free. So anybody, I didn't understand how I thought Black people like stuff for free, and now it's for free. And instead of that, they prefer to go to somebody else who's not recognized. So you can see right here. So all the groups that I'm going to mention now, you people have an obligation to start questioning them. If they're really helping you all, they better be at this level here. If they're not at this level, it's a bunch of Negroes masquerading as Indigenous, masquerading as Moors, masquerading as autochthonous. So you can see at Cicada Nation, USA and Canada, look at all the different documents. And what I like with this website from the UN is when you put your cursor over here, you can see the actual documents that we filed. So you're also able to download them. This is straight from the UN website. So when you see here, search OHCHR, this is Office of the High Commission for Human Rights. So Nation Islam is not mentioned. You won't see them there. You're not going to see Moorish Science Temple. You're not going to see Moorish Consulate. You're not going to see the Nuwabians. You're not going to see the Sabbats. You're not going to see the Hebrew Israelites. You're not going to see Southern Christian Leadership Conference. You're not going to see the Black Panthers. You're not going to see the new Black Panther Party. Is everybody comprehending what I'm saying here? So playtime is over. Malcolm X talked about campaigning for human rights. And he said, yes, we're not going to do civil rights anymore because that's a trap. Human rights is what will allow you to go in front of the world and say, these are the atrocities that have been committed. This is, I'm quoting him from back in the late 60s, all atrocities that have been committed against the Negro, we could go to the UN. However, what they didn't know at the time, if you use Negro, that is synonymous with slave, and the legal word is Black has no standing at law. So Black people can't even go internationally for help because they are taking on a contract. Check that word again. They're accepting a contract that requires and allows for them to be restricted. So that means they're basically stuck on a plantation, but have given an illusion that they're free. All right, so everyone understand that. So that's the search. So you have that now. Now on this page, this is a UPR, which is a Universal Periodic Review. And again, we're going to put this up on the internet, and all the groups that I've mentioned, even ones that might be out there that I haven't mentioned or I'm not aware of, you all are going to be, for people who are stupid enough to listen to those people and they don't have these type of credentials, you deserve to get misled. And if you're not going to question them, then you're greedy because you're looking for something for free. And then you don't want to accept, you want the asset, but you don't want the liability that comes along with it. And that's not how that works. So when you go to here and you see the UPR, Universal Periodic Review, these are documents. This is a report we did. This is the second one we did as well on the United States of America. Now, Clyde Ledbetter Jr. and Molefe Asante wrote a book called Contemporary Critical Thought and Africology and Africana. So what I'm going to do is contemporary critical, let's see here, if I try it this way, that's a kind of nation mentioned. Okay, here it is in the book. So our nation is recognized by two scholars. So if you go here on Google Books, you should be able to get the book and even order the book. So I'm going to put this here in the chat for everyone. Critical Thought in Africology and Africana. So these are the screenshots now. So here's one of the things was the Universal Periodic Review and the efficacy of Malcolm X's human rights strategy. So in here, in the screenshot, when you look at it, you're going to see that we are mentioned, our nation is mentioned when they go to the footnotes that of the first UPR against the US, which was the first one they actually answered to, they were overdue and behind. When you go to the footnote 28, you're going to see organizations include All for Reparations and Emancipation, the National Conference of Black Lawyers, Yamasee People, and Atsikata Nation of Yamasee Moors. This is what I mean by credentials. You are recognized internationally. We didn't even expect this, but they obviously read and looked at our first UPR report on the United States of America. I'm talking about Clyde Ledbetter Jr. and Molefe Asante, who wrote the book. And our second UPR, which we did on the United States of America, we emailed them. So I emailed them and said, hey, we did a second one, just letting you know, no response. So when I see stuff like that, that tells me Black people are not really interested in freedom. They're screaming bloody murder, and when it's time to do what's necessary, they don't want to do the work. So with that reality, it is clear that the best movement, or the best course of action, for lack of a better word, is to make sure you're seeking like-minded people and seek the living amongst the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, good. Making sure. You have to click in, Kalina. If you click out, there's the blue button for the meeting. So click in there, or click in the floating box that has where you can see everybody's, you can see everyone's faces. That is the actual meeting. So if you click into your internet, that means you leave the meeting and you can't see what I'm looking at. So you have to click back in. So just remember that. All right, so I'm giving this introduction so people have a quick synopsis of what I have done. Plus I have a CV. Our nation is an NGO, an IPO, a CSO. We were also recognized as indigenous by the governments of the United States of America and Canada, as you could see. So who's most qualified to assist you all? Our nation is. I've been doing this. I'm the one that discovered the SF-181 form in 2007 and was showing people how to do it. So this is not subject to debate anymore. So if people want to get misled, and I accept that some people love to be lied to because they're still religious, and then they want to tell some supreme being that they got tricked, and the supreme being will say, oh, so sorry, what a shame, come into heaven. That's the game. And they're going to find out in a very quick how liable they actually are. All right, so this is it. And because this is the UN International Day of the World's Indigenous People, that's why I decided to record this. So this will be evidence. The UN knows what we do because we tell them in our inputs and questionnaires. So on, UN International Day for the World's Indigenous People, this is again going to be evidence of the work that our nation is doing and how I am assisting people who are actually Native American to begin with in the first place, but were converted into being Black back into their original status and to claim their indigenous standing. So with that, I'm going to check the chat. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. If you have a video I have to prove, please put it in the chat. If you're new, please say you're new and say what city and state you are from, and we will get rolling here. Okay, Anjani, I see in the chat your SC and attachments.
Well, I put my SC, I sent it to you at 6:58 so that you can look at that. And then I'm requesting to get the attachment so that I can finish that, correct?
Right, correct, correct. So I'm gonna look at your document here. Let me just stop share screen for a second. So hold on, everyone. Oh, I've already done that, great. So hold on a second. All right. Yeah, that line where it says affiant, it goes all the way to the end, so you might want to pull it back away from the right side a bit.
It's right on my end, it's just not right on yours.
Okay, all right, so that's Google Pages, fine.
Yeah, but I have a question though.
Hold on a second, hold on. Greetings, greetings. Greetings.
You send the link?
The link's been sent, aren't you in link to Autochtons?
No, I get it. And I'll check the two emails.
Okay, Sa, if you're there, could you please send to Makatari, please? Hold on. Yeah, Ezra Debisset or Clyde Debisset. You have his email, right?
Clyde Debisset was his email?
Yeah, Clyde Debisset or Ezra Debisset.
Ezra Debisset or Nebo Debisset?
Or Nebo, okay. Nebo Debisset or Clyde Debisset, hold on. Do you have it, Sa?
And I'm just checking now here. Let me see. So start that off spelling one of those. Clyde, C-O-Y-D.
Yeah.
Okay.
C-L-Y.
No, Chief, not Clyde.
Oh,
No,
what?
Chief, not Clyde.
Nebo?
Ezra or Nebo Debisset?
Okay, Ezra or Nebo Debisset.
No Nebo. And Easy R not coming up either. So.
And because I've sent him before, let me check in my other email and see if
I've
it
never
comes
got
up.
his email.
Okay, so I have that here. I'll give it to you. I will give it to you right now. All right, so I'll give it to you right now, Sa. It's in the chat. That's the first one. And then I have the other one.
I have the Ezra here now, so I'll forward the link.
Yeah, and then I have to get the other one to you because just in case he gets blocked on that other one. Okay, so not there. Yeah, I only have the other one, Ezra. Oh, that's strange.
He has the link, so just see if he has it there.
Oh, okay, I see it here. There's because I sent it to him before. And where is it here? Yeah, Debisset Nebo. Here it is. There we go. That's why I was doing that.
Yes, Chief. That is a Chief.
All right, so here's both of them, Sa. So please make sure they're in the list, please.
Okay.
All right, so you have the link now.
All right, Chief.
All right, see you
All
shortly.
right, Chief. Okay.
So what was your question, Anjani? Appreciate your patience.
Yes, I just wanted to show you it is right up here.
Yep, I see it. It's correct. Oh, give us some more space. Let me put it back up again. Hold on. Let me pin your video because it's not. Let me see here. Okay, you need more space where it says type an ID.
All right.
Yeah, that's too narrow for the notary. So fix that up. You got plenty of space there. You can pull up the line.
Every time I tried to do that, Chief, on my document on my computer, it was making me to get 2 pages. So is it all right to have 2 pages? Because I know in the instructions it says 1 page.
No. You're asking me, I'm answering. You listen? No. 1 page, because at the bottom, what you have, that's where the notary is going to do their notary. So that's the last thing. So and it's far enough that if they are using a seal, then they can at least seal it, because if it's too high, then they can't seal it on the same plane as where it says my commission expires, and on the other side says notary public. So make sure, so what you have there, let me see that again.
I mean, I had issues trying to.
Yeah, what you're gonna have to do is take where it says personally known and produce identification. You move that up onto the same line. It's the same thing like you have with your statutory declaration.
Right.
So you gotta do that. If that's a problem, then take that jurat from the declaration and just cut it and paste it there underneath the bottom there. So it should come together.
All right, because I was having difficulties on the laptop trying to make sure I had everything on 1 page, and it was just a mess. It was kind of a trip. But another question I wanted to ask.
Yes.
I do remember on everything, all of my documents, all of my affidavits, it was always applicant UCC 1-308, all rights reserved. Now on the statutory declaration, it was different. And my question is, was it different because I was sending it to the Florida governor and I had to put the FS 671-207?
Yes, and since we know that you're in Florida, from that moment on, that's what you want to use in Florida. Anytime you have to sign any reports, anytime you got to sign something, you get a package, you got to sign for it. FS 671.207 is what you have to sign. So if they ask, what is that? That's the state code. What is it? It means without prejudice. What's that mean? Without prejudice. Hey, I'm not an attorney. Go seek an attorney.
All right. Overstood. That was gonna be my second question. If I signed anything else, can I also put?
Always.
Okay, always
Always.
my signature. Always on the back of my checks as well?
Always.
Always got
Just
it.
make sure if you sign a, if you have a check that you're issuing to someone, make sure your signature card is like that. Because if it's not, then you might have a problem if you're writing a check for somebody and it's not on your signature card.
Or at the bank, you mean?
Yeah, at the bank that you have the contract with, because if they decide, hold on, what is this? Then they'll say, let's check the signature card. And they say, oh, well, that's not her signature, even though it might be you. They'll say, that's not what we have on file.
All right, so then I can change that, because in the past it was not like that. Now that it is like that, and I have gone to the bank and presented my SD and had the conversation with the bank personnel, you know, on my video.
Yeah.
And she asked me what the SD was. She wanted to know. I explained to her, so they know what I'm doing. And now I'm getting ready to go with the statutory claim. So at that time, when I go to get this notarized, then I will ask them to let me change my signature card.
You'd probably want to do that after your security agreement has been signed.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. But on my personal checks that I get from an employer, because one particular company gives me checks, they don't do that.
Yeah, you can sign that. That's different because you're
All right.
signing that there. You're endorsing that.
All right. Want to make sure. Thank you, Abubazor. Much appreciated.
Abubazor. And so make sure you put your request for the attachments in the chat, and resend me your updated corrections of your statutory claims, so I know everything is fine.
All right, I'll get that finished tonight and submit it again to you today. And
All right.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Much appreciated.
Kalina Grimes, where is she put her email in now? Okay, Kalina. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, let's get to work on your email first. Is this your first time on?
Second.
Second time? All right. So go to that little bar that's floating that has screen. It has chat, participants, that one there. See it?
Yes.
Okay, so click on that and find your name.
Oh, rename it. Okay.
And then when you see the button that says more, the far right blue button, click on that and the drop down box will come. And then that box will say there's a box that says rename. I think it's the fourth one down. Click on that and then put your email in there. Then we get started with you.
Okay, I just did it.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so this is your second time on?
Correct.
Oh, wait, what brought you here?
The attachment standing process.
Okay, but you must have saw something that I did.
I must have saw something that you did.
Yep.
You're
Or
the only
somebody-
one who I can go to for help with this, so I chose to stick to what I feel.
Yes, but I'm saying, did you watch any of my videos? Like, how did you find out about me?
I found out about you watching YouTube. I wasn't watching your video. I was watching, I think it was one of Bobby Hemmett's videos, and your video actually popped up.
Aha, fabulous. I did speak to Bobby Hemmett, so if people ever wondered, did you ever talk to him? Yes, I spoke with Bobby Hemmett on the phone. This was a couple of years before he got the stroke.
Oh, wow.
And then ever since then, when he was in the hospital, I was trying to get in touch with him, couldn't get in touch with him. So, and since then, he was in the hospital, he got out, he did one kind of lecture out the hospital for about 45 minutes, and then that was it. And then since then, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So this is why I put the challenge up to the black people who are into their dark magic and their black magic and all that. I said, you guys do realize, I just said this, what was it, just a couple days ago, I think it was Saturday on the open Q&A, that when they say black and want to start saying, yeah, I'm gonna get into that black magic, they're actually invoking the original meaning of the word black, which is pale. So that is causing a conflict with their magic. Let me say this again. So for all the people who were into their dark side, right? And I put the challenge out to Panic, Azaziel Bay, all of these guys. I'm like, okay, when are y'all gonna start telling these black people the truth that they're not black? Because that's going to affect your magic. Doesn't that stand to reason? You there?
Yes, it stands to reason.
So by invoking the word black, which means pale, you're nullifying or weakening your magic. If you want to say dark side, then say darkness. Say dark, say carbon. I'll even give you melanin. So substitute those words. When you have something, when a person's wearing dark colors, that's what it is, dark colors. Because it means absence of light, and it does what? It absorbs. That's what that does. It absorbs that frequency. So this is why this is a very special autochthon, standing process, because I'm recording it. We're going to put this up on the internet. So this will prove on the UN International Day for the world's indigenous peoples. This is an opportunity for you all who come on to tell the planet that you are indigenous, even as you're going through the process, because you're victims of genocide, apartheid, rape, forced assimilation, trafficking in human cargo, war crimes, crimes against humanity. We can now add the Nuremberg conventions, all of that. And that is the reality, provided you change your commercial status from black to white. Because then all of that comes into play. And this is where I'm gonna just put this picture here up on the screen. Did I turn it? Okay, great. This is where we start getting into remedy, like the remedy that we require as the original people on the planet has to be factored in every equation. We are the central processing unit of everything on this planet. When you see you have companies paying black women to give them breast milk, you know it's over. This is what's going down right now. I saw the picture a couple years back. They have black women who have extra breast milk, and the companies are paying them to get the breast milk before their mammary glands dry out. Let me see, is that it? Here we go. So as I stated before, this is the lineage timeline. You can go on, what's their names, Amazon, and see if you can get it. Every time I recommend people to get stuff, then the books and the products all of a sudden start selling out. So your remedy.
Can you say the name again?
Lineage. It's right here at the bottom. Lineage Innovation. So if you go the lineage timeline into, if you type that into Amazon, they have what's called a roll that's about 10 feet long. It's a 10-foot roll showing history from Kemet up to
of the
present
lineage
day.
of people's lineage lines.
Yes. This is just the intro. This isn't the actual roll. This is just the intro to help you process how to receive the roll. That's why we say receive and not read. So these are the major world Abrahamic religions. So most people are familiar with Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So when we start looking at things from a numerical standpoint, most black people in the West would fall under this, the Christianity. Now, as you see here, it's only 2,000 years old. So if you have been on the previous webinars, on the Autochthon Standing Process webinars, where you see I
So what does that
play,
mean by it just only being 2,000 years old?
it's only 2,000 years old. Egypt is older. This is over here pre-dynastic Egypt, and pre-dynastic Egypt is older than Judaism. They say Christianity started 1 Anno Domini, or when Jesus's ministry started when he was 33 years old, so they claim. So at that point, it's only 2,000 years old. So now, if
you there, Chief?
I'm here.
I can't hear anything.
Make sure your mic's up. I can hear you loud and clear. Let me put it in the chat so you know, in case there's probably some technical problem. I'm talking to. I'm breaking it down now. Let's see. What is her email again? Okay, G. I can hear you, and the background movement. Sounds like your mic went down. Check your speakers. Can you hear me? Yep, looks like they picked her this week, I guess. Everyone make sure you got some water close by. Keep a glass of water or a jug of water when you come on the webinar. It will help
your audio is off.
No, my audio is on.
Completely off.
No, if everyone can hear me, please put if you can hear me in the chat. Because it sounds fine on my end. If you can hear me, please.
Uh-oh. So why am I the only one? That's weird.
Put yes.
And that's unmute, but I can't hear
in the chat. Yep, so everyone can hear me. So I have to let her be 6. Everyone can hear me except you. Yep. So G, Kalina, 06, check your speakers.
I can't hear. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Yep, you gotta check it.
Touch anything. Everything's working.
Are you using a earpiece?
Check your speakers. Maybe.
They don't want her getting this. Wow. We got this recorded because everything was fine, and then all of a sudden,
so weird.
It's only me. What state are you in? Looks like we're gonna have to type. Oh yeah, this is how you know we're really having an effect on the matrix. For the people that just came in, if you have video showing, I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. Hear everything you are saying.
I can hear you clearly and hear everything you are saying. Okay, so you can hear me, but I can't hear
You're saying.
Is it okay if I log off and then log back on?
Yes.
Even your singing. Oh. Okay, I'm logging off. I'll be right back.
All white. Oh yes, people, this is real. What we're doing has a real effect. So I'll just continue until she comes back. So this is where most Black people are, unless they're a Muslim, in which case they would be caught up in this feedback loop, or if they're into the Hebrew Israelites and Judaism, they're caught up here. But none of them beat Egypt. So if you go from 4,000 to 1,500, that's a 2,500 year difference between Egypt and Judaism. And so then when you go from Egypt to Christianity, that's like 1,500. That's 4,000 years, which is why I played that intro. And in the intro, they're playing a trumpet that was found in Tutankhamun's burial chamber in Tamaray called Egypt. And so they said for over 4,000 years, 5,000 years old. So that meant what was happening in Tamaray was sound prior to these hybrids coming into existence. And so then if we count from 4,000 to 2,000, that's nearly 6,000 years. That's why they don't teach Egypt. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, and I can hear you. So as I was saying, just let me clear this and do this again for your benefit. So right now, Black people are caught up in this feedback loop right here. See it?
Yes.
So that red circle denotes this is the constant feedback loop. This is as far as they will allow you to go. Anytime you get outside of either the Christianity, the Islam, which is younger than Christianity, and Judaism, which is the oldest of the three Abrahamic religions, you're not going to get true remedy. Because the commercial world says what? Blacks are considered civilitas mortuus, dead in the eyes of the law. So you tell me Al Sharpton didn't know that? You tell me Jesse Jackson didn't know that? You tell me Rainbow Push Coalition don't know that? You tell me NAACP don't know that? You're telling me Cornel West don't know it? Nikki Giovanni don't know it? Do you see the pattern?
They just don't try to help us people.
Say that again?
I said they know it, they just don't try to help the people.
So therefore they are under a contract. And I'd call it an acting contract. This is an etymology that I did today while I was on the UN Day for the World's Indigenous People. I pulled up actor because they like to say actors on the ground in countries help with the 2030 agenda and the goals for the UN. So something just said, hold on, what's the etymology of actor? So I looked it up. It's a noun from the late 14th century. An overseer, guardian, steward, from the Latin actor, an agent or doer, a driver of sheep. Isn't it when they want the public to get something, they'll put a Black actor, entertainer, singer, scholar to tell Black people we need to do such and such?
Yes, because they go right to it.
Okay. In law, it's an accuser. An actor is an accuser or a plaintiff. Also, theatrical player or an orator, from the past participle stem of agere, to set in motion, to drive forward. Hence, to do, perform. Also act on stage, play the part of, plead, a cause at law. From past intermediate English root ag, to drive, draw out or forth, move. So the Black actors are overseers. So when I remember that Chappelle episode where they were joking on Wayne Brady, thought he was soft, and what if Wayne Brady was hardcore? For those of you to remember that, and what did Dave Chappelle say? Come on, Black actors, we got to stick together, Black actors. Yes, they're overseers, guardians, and stewards.
Oh.
It's right there in the language, and it's a noun. Noun is a person, place, or thing. Adjective is a description, describes something. And black has no standing at law and no value. So that's why when certain things happen and people are looking to a black actor or a black entertainer to speak up and they don't, they can't, because they are an overseer. See, this generation may not understand the significance of plantation. I would deduce that you comprehend. So overseer is not a positive thing. An overseer is like the saying officer, overseer, overseer, officer. So they're watching over and drive the sheep, where the slave master tells the overseer, send them to go in this direction. So now you have Juvenile doing a song, instead of back that thing up, backs that thing up.
That was so crazy.
Hey, they're bought and paid for. If you saw the Rabbi Finkelstein video, if you saw the Rabbi Finkelstein video, he said they're good. This is what you call them: good, bought and paid for Chavez Goy. And so in exchange for living the good life, you move them off in that direction. And they're like, fine. All right. So getting back to the lineage timeline.
Okay.
Your remedy is not going to be by chanting or invoking your oppressor's god or demon, in this case, or disagreeable entity or imprisoning spiritual energy. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So when I see people talking about they're into the New Age movement, especially Black people love all that New Age stuff. It's just like another set of opium. This is where they're at, and they don't touch that. But meanwhile, Amorites will touch this, Kimbanda, Umbanda, Santeria. They'll go to all the African spiritual systems and learn that. And the sad part is a lot of those Babalaos are scratching those Amorites in. So this, where I circled over here, let me just rechange that. There we go, and make that green. So this is where you're going to get. This here is bondage. Judaism is bondage, Christianity, spiritual bondage, as well as economic bondage. Islam, spiritual bondage, economic bondage, physical bondage.
Okay.
Because they have an obligation to tell the people who are Black who convert to that religion that Black has no standing at law. But do they do that?
No.
So therefore, aren't they aiding and abetting damage? Are they not misleading people?
They are misleading people.
So that means the Buddhists, those who are into Zoroastrianism, those who are into transcendental meditation, those who are into Hinduism. Do you see the pattern? So that's why I asked you what which one of my videos did you watch, because you got to know who you're talking to. That's just.
Oh, I know who I'm talking to.
Okay, so which one of my videos did you watch? What did you see that really said, hey, okay, so you saw one of my videos from, one of the videos you saw from Bobby Hemmett. That's fine, cool.
One of the videos that I saw, I can't tell you one of the videos that I saw before I got into this process. I can't recall the video.
No, that's not the question I asked. I asked of my videos, what is it that I have said, done, that you've seen that has got you convinced, like, yes, this is what I have to do?
That you show proof that Black has no standing at law. You show a lot of proof besides just saying things. You show proof. You show web links and you show videos of other people who have proof as well. So, but what stuck out to me is, it stuck out to me because at first I was like, when I first saw you, I was like, who is this guy? And I was like, okay, it just, didn't know. But when I heard you say that Black has no standing at law, I was like, But then as you kept explaining it and showed details, I was just like, oh, wow. It was a shocker for me. So you just showed me by proof that, Black has no standing at law and what to do. I'm fairly new But it's when I was younger, I didn't like too much of anything with like law. It would be boring to me. I didn't want to read all those books and stuff. And it's like I always, people have always told me that my demeanor, I should be like someone in a court system. And I was like, okay, I don't get it because I don't even like the whole court. It just was boring to me. But now, as I'm older, and now that I realize that Black has no standing at law, and I have children, I have to step in and do what I have to do for them as well as myself.
Yes, and you can't play the commerce game and say, I don't know law. That it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Black people. Let the attorney handle it. Let the accountant handle it. Let this person teach my children. Let this person do that. And then when those people mess up, it's required as the principal or the guardian, okay, you got to step in and either teach your children or find somebody else that's going to do it. But again, most Black people, when that happens, they got to deal with the fallout of the agent being incompetent. And then they want, well, he did, and they'll say, hey, I'm just the agent, I'm just the accountant, I'm just to this, I'm just to that. And then they'll pin it back on them because they'll say, okay, they work for you, you hired them, but you're the one, you're still responsible. That's the game. So now it's a matter of you're playing a real life Monopoly game. They took the rule book, the game book, everything from you. And so now you're sitting there trying to play and learn as you go, stumbling, hitting obstacles, learning stuff afterward, after the fact. And this is why, excuse me, 2 things they don't teach in school. Well, 3 things actually. They don't teach law. They don't teach in school. I'm talking from elementary, because see, the birth certificate is evidence of a commercial contract. And based on that, the parents should have some fundamental basic information on law.
And my parents weren't.
No, your parents weren't, my parents weren't, and then it goes back to whomever. So they have to have fundamental knowledge. And then the other thing is what? Commerce. They don't teach you about commerce, banking, how to look at a balance sheet, they don't teach that in school. So that means they want ignorance. That's why education means child rearing. It doesn't mean being given knowledge, even though they are, but it's child rearing. So that's why they're keeping people in a childlike mental state. So when real world things happen, some people can adapt and rise to the challenge. Other people mentally crack because they're like, I can't deal with it. And they don't. And then the first thing is like how some grown people will revert back to being a child, start sucking their thumb and wanting to wear diapers. Oh yeah, that's real. That's the real deal. So now that, and Barack was the one that said it. So I always tell people, don't put yourself in a position as you're an authority. You quote who said it, because when you mention Barack Obama, he's like Jesus Christ to some Black people still. They will have nothing to say when you say that. So if Barack is saying he don't look at himself as the first Black president because the word Black has no standing at law, which was a mistake, he wasn't supposed to tell you all that, then that means y'all not supposed to be calling yourselves Black or African American, because African ain't even an African word. So these are the things, when you say the only thing you can take from them, which will give you your birthrights back, is taking the word I am white. And by saying I am white, chanting I am white, knowing that the word white is defined by the U.S. Department of Education, the National Institute of Health, the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System, the Center for Disease Control, all use the same definition, and white is defined as a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. And then we say, okay, Black is a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. We say, okay, name me a Black racial group of Africa.
There's no Black racial groups of Africa.
Okay, so don't they realize when they do that, they are actually creating a frequency. This is for all the black people into their dark side and their magic, and black people love the new age and UFO stuff. When they say black and they still want to claim that mentally, you have to be hypnotized after you know that answer to continue to go back. That is what the legal definition of insanity is. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So by them doing that, they throw that energy out into the universe, cause and effect. The universe takes that, accepts it, and says, okay, now we're going to hit you back. Boom, you're not pale. Nothing about you is pale. Then guess what happens? They start having a hard life because they keep chanting. That's like somebody saying negative things and it comes back to them. That's what happened with Tupac. He said he was just rapping about stuff he heard about and whatnot. And he said none of that stuff ever happened to him in his life, but then it happened to him. So when you see people who are in the entertainment industry and they put out a record, they have to do that record. The song alone might be 15, 20, 30 times that they're saying that song over and over again. So they're sending that out. This is just in the studio. Then when they say, okay, we finally got word with us, we like it, this take is good, put it on the album, boom, it's in a CD or on an upload, it's sent to the upload, then it hits the radio stations that are blaring out that same negative frequency. What happens? The universe accepts it and then hits them with a wave of that energy. Then they wonder why they're having problems. Then they're drinking because they were drinking in and smoking weed in the studio. They're putting the energy is in the studio. The energy ends up on the magnetic tape. That's what's called magnetic. For all of you people who know about magnets, it ends up on the master if they're still using reels. Then when they get the master, then it's found out the next level is that the recording studios have altar rooms. They bring in the witches and warlocks to chant on the masters. Then when they chant on the masters, that energy is trapped magnetically on the masters. Then it's reproduced on blanks. Then it's out into the world, different radio stations, record stores, etc. And then people are playing that same thing. Therefore, they're generating that same negative frequency. Overstood? You there?
Overstood.
So that means the starting point is
I'm here.
the
Can
three
you hear
magic.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. So the starting point is the three magic words, I am white. If they can't say that, knowing what the definition is, knowing that CDC, the US Census, OMB are all using that, that person is a mummy at this point. Any other question?
For the SF 181 package, I wanted to make sure it was correct.
The SF 181, yeah, but you just started, so you have to get interview questions. I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things we stress on our webinar is competency.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the other people, yeah, you could get the form anywhere. It's on the internet. You could download it, fill it out. But you're going to be 1,000% responsible. Don't come crying to me about help because, see, this is how Black people are. They stupid like that. They will do that stuff, not fully comprehending what they're getting into. They figure, well, I'll just fill the paperwork out, give it to them. I don't have to say or do anything. That's not how it works. You have to live that. And this is the problem, especially for the hustlers that are hustling people out their fiat. They have to live being white. You have to live being indigenous. You can't just fake it. You have to live it. Live, eat, breathe, sleep, defecate, being indigenous. You're not going to fool because there's entities that are non-physical that can see y'all from where you all cannot see them. And they know who's living the real life from who's not. That's the difference. So when we tell people when they come on here, we qualify people. We filter people out because we're like, you're going to live this. And if you're going to mess this up for other people, we're like, no, this person is going to just mess this up. No, and we put them on a ban list, say nope, because they don't understand that there is responsibility involved with this, and they don't want it. They just want gimme, 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 gimme. Give me that, and that's it. And then they want to go back, hang out with their black friends, hang out with their black family. And then when they run into problems, see, at that point, I'm indigenous, but they're wearing khakis and jeans. They got jeans hanging off their ass talking about they're indigenous. Wearing Nike suits, wearing all sorts of corporate logos called labels or brand, whether it's Hilfiger or Timberland or whatever. And so when they're wearing corporate brands, they're gonna say, well, if I go to a museum, I could see what the original indigenous people look like, even if they're dark skinned here in the West, not just talking about Africa, but here, we were already here. Then that means that this person who is wearing corporate brands is not really indigenous. They're just saying that, but they're not, they're a Negro. Understood? So you got to follow make sure you receive the caveat in the white time screensaver.
I'm sorry. I've already completed the interview part.
All right. So once you've done the interview, you will get the email from SA, and then that will have the instructions, and then you receive that 9 times and you start filling it out. What state are you in? Just so I remember, put this in the memory bank.
North Carolina.
Okay, so you're in North Carolina. Where are you? Greensboro, Hillsboro?
Fayetteville.
Greenville?
Fayetteville.
Oh, you're in Fayetteville. All right. So Fayetteville. So how many children do you have?
2.
2? All right. Are you married?
No.
All right, so you're not married. Pardon?
No, not right now, no.
Not okay, so you're not married. The children, are they same father or different fathers?
Different fathers.
All right. And you have full custody?
Yes. Well,
all right. Huh?
Well, I've never went to court to get custody, but they are with me.
All right.
I've never went to court to get custody, but they are with me.
All right. So
my youngest,
your youngest what?
Yeah, my youngest, his father is deceased, and my oldest, his father is just in another state.
All right. And do you stay in contact with him?
We tried, but you can only contact someone. If they don't contact you back, it's only so much you can do.
All right. The reason why I'm asking these questions is when those situations occur, we tell people, and you'll see it in the instructions as well as the caveat in some of the old weekly addresses that we did, that any significant party, you want to let them know what you're doing as it relates to the children, especially when you're changing the children's status. If you and the child's father aren't really communicating, then there's nothing to worry about. You do what you're doing it. If you are having some communication, then you want to let him know that this is what I'm doing. So good. So there's no problem. So there won't be any obstruction or disruption. All right. So that's fine. So watch the instructions, look at the instructions, and follow the instructions in the white time screensaver. And well, you said you already passed the interview questions, so if you should be having the instructions, so you should be having the instructions already. So go right ahead and follow them, and then start putting your document together. And if you have any questions off webinar, you can contact me. All right.
So my question is, did you receive my email that I sent over of the SF 181 packages?
All right, so you put it together already then for you and your children?
Yes.
All right, so now we talking.
And you know what is crazy? My older son, his is the only one that printed out right. I had to go back after I scanned it, and it was missing like 6 pages. So when when I scan, I make sure it's the correct amount of pages before I leave. So that was just a note to self.
Yep, this is okay. Put a comma after the last name and the first name. That's what's missing.
Comma after the last name.
Yeah, and you have this what's this here? Okay, so the fax cover sheet should be page 1, then the SF-181. So you have to put that back. You have to put that in order. And see how you have the SSA here? No, this is no. Everyone, you have to have, there's you and 2 children, so I need to have 6 PDFs. You've only sent me 1, so I need 6. So 1 for you.
I thought I did 3.
No, it's 6 because you got 3 faxes. You got to fax to the OMB, and then you got 3 you got to fax to the SSA. That's why you've got these cover sheets here together. This is incorrect. The cover sheet, this cover sheet is for SSA, and the attachments that are in the OMB will go with this, but you can't have both fax cover sheets together. No, that's not even in the instructions. That's unacceptable. So you have to have a SF-181 for you, 1 for you, and 1 for both of your children, and then you have 1 SSA for you and for your children. So you'll be sending me a total of 6 PDFs.
Oh, okay.
So go back and refix this. So you have to rescan everything. So you could send that to, you don't have to wait till next Monday. You can send that to me as soon as you can. All right?
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Are you subscribed to my YouTube channel?
I am.
All right, so make sure you're watching the videos and taking notes. Happy Gador, white power.
Happy Gador, white power.
All right, so let's see here who's next. We've got a whole bunch of people up in here, I see. Wow. Okay, let me go head up here. Okay. Okay, so Kalina. So Kyle, you're up now.
Greetings, Chief.
Greetings, how are you?
I'm doing really well.
Great. I'm just going through here to make sure to see who else has documents that I need to proof. If you have, for those people that came in, if you have a document I got to proof, please put it in the chat. If you have a video that I have to proof, please put it in the chat. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. And okay, so I see Jeremiah, Central Florida. If you're new, please put that you're new and state what city, state, and country you're in. If you're outside of North America, then give the country. If you're inside of North America, city, state, and you know, if you're, you know, in the city, state, or province. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just looking at a couple of things here. All right, and so then afterward will be Shazida. Will be after Kyle. All right, great. All right, so you sent me an email, and I know you did, so because I'm seeing it, I saw it earlier. So this is your email here. There we go, Dutchy Lancaster. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop share screen here for a second, everyone. Just hold on a second. I'm looking at your document, Kyle. Okay. Yeah, you should put a hyphen. That's how he has a hyphenated last name, Bruce Watt. So make sure that, yeah, so make sure you put a hyphen after Bruce. Got a few to close and really okay. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Yes. Yeah, I called FedEx today trying to find out what's happening to my statutory claim. So they told me this is week 2. This was supposed to be delivered 2 days, 8 hours afterward. Sent it on 2 weeks ago Monday. It should have been delivered already. And they had made an attempt twice and then nobody responded. So FedEx told me tomorrow now what they're doing is they're going to call him or a call department that handles it is going to call him that I gave them for him to respond. So I was like, okay, great. And so this is what's happening now. I said, okay, fine. I'm patient. Like I said, the longer it takes for them to receive that, the more it proves that the statutory claim and that statement of claim and the statutory claim and the statement of claim and the other means that I have filed on Elizabeth are valid. And so why would it take them this long? Because I wanted to get it in before the UK says, oh, we're locking down again, and then it's in limbo. But this is my insurance policy, but the reality is I already sent my statutory declaration to, my statutory claim to the Dutchy solicitor via email. So he already had it, but I sent it in case they say, oh, they snatched the email and they say we don't have a record of it. So now he got email and a hard copy, and the hard copy is getting hard to deliver, but every day it goes by, it legitimizes the statutory claim, my claim and my UCC liens on Elizabeth, and proves that I claim the British throne and the crown and everything associated with it. And it validates each and every one of you that's on our webinar who are now sending it not only from the IRS, but to them, to him, because he's a solicitor as per that 1707 Cestui by Trust Act. Okay, August 9th. Oh, wow, fabulous. Okay, so you got that done today. August 9th is the, boy, they're going to feel that. August 9th is every year is known as the UN International Day for the World's Indigenous People.
Right.
Oh, right, so you got that there, and then this was Elizabeth, May 24th. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, San Bernardino, fantastic. And which one is this here? Okay, and then that was for the IRS, yeah. And that was 24th of May. Okay, fantastic. Yep. Okay, so I'm going through your attachment. Page 8 and 9, you got to turn them horizontal. That's IRS statute, IRS manual. It's horizontal. People are gonna have to turn their head. So make sure those are horizontal. That's page 8 and 9.
So turn page 8 and 9
It should be horizontal. You right now it's vertical.
So got it.
Let me see here. Oh yeah, because I remember you shouldn't have included 1 to 11. Okay, so you got to eat that one, so that's fine. Actually, this is that's good there. Okay, and page 50, UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. So page 50, you have to fix that page.
Page 50. What do I do with page 50?
You gotta make page 50. It has to be horizontal.
Okay, make page 50 horizontal.
Because what you have here, that's the cover for the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. It's like this.
I see.
So that needs to be horizontal. And this is here. Oh, you slapped the whole thing in here. Okay, you weren't playing.
Yeah, I put all the attachments in from the IRS claim.
Okay, so that's Article 42. Okay, good.
And I also sent it into the DTC on accident, so they all have it.
Yeah, so they all have it. So it's going to be interesting. Somebody's bonds might be getting pulled and said, "Oh, you can't monetize that account anymore. That's been taken off the books. It is not a monetizable asset. It's not a monetizable private asset anymore." That's probably what will happen. Okay, and then when we go to page 8, yeah, so this page here and this page here has to be horizontal.
Okay.
So fix it up and send it to me. Email it to me as soon as you can, and then I can do an email confirmation.
Fix and send to chief. Got it. Now, I had a question. I have my wife here, and
Yes.
She is on the webinar also. She did have a
Yes.
question. Would you like her to put it in
Sure.
the chat?
No, she's right there.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is my second day to attend the this
The webinar.
the webinar, and I wanted to know what I should do next, actually for me and for my son.
Yes. And you sent me an email earlier today that I responded to. Did you get it? My response? Oh,
I
so okay, so that's your background information there. So on the caveat on the white time screensaver, what you need to do is follow those instructions where it says to enter your email, go on your Facebook, send a friend request, all that. You have to follow that because my maid is going to see that and she's going to check that, make sure everything is correct and done properly. And then once you get past that, because it's showing, can you follow instructions? And then if you're given instructions, can you decipher on how to do that? This is testing people's competency because that is one of the requirements. The document that your husband has done, that is big boy stuff. That's high level because they have old statutes called the Cess to Keep by Trust, and they have documents called, this is the canons actually, on positive law. And one of the things is, they know on a high level, they have imprisoned everybody, regardless of race. They have commercially imprisoned everybody on the planet. So what the canons allow for is once a flesh and blood human realizes that they have been trafficked as human cargo for a central bank, they have the right to now rebut that presumption. And whatever they're doing privately with the name, social security number, etc., that has to revert back to the individual, for lack of a better word, that was converted into an economic asset or made chattel property or an economic slave. One of the requisites in that is they must demonstrate competency. Once they demonstrate competency, the canons require that that has to be dealt with. They have to close the trust immediately. And it also states if the administrator refuses to do so, then they have to be removed and punished for that, because this affects international commerce on the planet. Have you watched the movie called The Matrix?
I'm sorry, what's this?
Have you seen The Matrix?
Some part of it.
Yeah, you should really watch all three of those movies. Plus, there's another one called Animatrix, which is the they call it Japanimation. You heard of Japanimation? You know, like what's the one? Dragon Ball Z. They call it Japanimation. So it's a cartoon on what happened.
Somebody's at the door.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's my dog barks really loud, and yeah, I'll just mute the mic.
Yeah, no problem. So can you, as long as your wife can hear me. That's how these things always happen in the normally you probably never have a guest. So you just let me know when I can continue.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so as I was explaining, when the in Japan, in the Animatrix, which is like the cartoon, they have vignettes which are like short stories, but they're in cartoon format. They have what happened before the machines took over, as they came from being just in a computer to a body to a shell, and then being able to think to themselves and having to follow 3 basic laws, which are, you know, they can't kill a human, and but they can defend themselves, but it can't. The law number 2 can't override number 3, and then they can't murder a human. And then they talk about what happened after the machines took over humans. So it's important that your wife, Elaine, should watch that, all three of the movies, because then she'll get a better comprehension of what they've actually done. And we're no longer in, from 1990 science fiction. It's fact now, and especially between the testing of traveling for people who have to travel and get tested, and the experimental drugs which are being masqueraded as a vaccine. It's coming out that the nanobots are in there, are connected to the cloud, so they're going to be able to monitor people's bodies. So it'll get to the stage where if somebody wants to resist, they'll say, just shut everything down, shut the body down. Once they shut the body down, the body will now get treated like a robot, an organic robot. Plus, it also came out that the people who have taken the vaccine or the experimental injectable operating system like with Moderna, they now, those people are now not considered 100% human. They are considered a hybrid. They're considered altered, like how you can't patent anything that's natural in nature. Now, once they take that, they're patented, so now they belong to, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca or Johnson & Johnson. So it's a full-scale raping of the public and then converting them into something else. You watched Avatar. If you saw the movie Avatar, Avatar is also a good example as well. So that's what your wife needs to do, is just watch those movies, follow the instructions, and if she has any questions she's unsure about, she can contact us.
Perfect. Much appreciated, Chief.
Much appreciated. Let's see here. All white. So next is we Kyle. Shazida, where is Shazida? Yes, people, if you have a document that I got approved, put it in the chat. You got a question, put it in the chat. If you have a video got approved, please put it in the chat. Where's Shazida? Shazida, I don't see her here. So, okay, so we'll move on then to Edwidge. Go ahead, Edwidge.
Greetings, Chief.
Greetings.
Sent you an email for the fact cover letters and the SF-31 attachments.
Yes, I think I saw that here. Where are we at here? Here we go. Okay, that one. Okay, so you got to give me two. This is unacceptable.
Two?
Yeah, there's got to be two separate. I will say this again. I don't think people are comprehending. There cannot be two fax cover sheets in one PDF. No, I said this today. I said it 7 days ago. I said it 14 days ago, 21 days ago. Because you're sending the OMB first. That is your nucleus. That's your starting point. That's the master contract for rechanging everything. Then the SSA. So I need to see that I'm looking at two separate PDFs.
Okay.
Because if I don't see two separate PDFs like what you gave me here,
right,
that means you didn't comprehend that they have to be separate, because that's a different, OMB is not the same as SSA, the different agencies. So you're not putting the fax cover sheets together and say, here, Chief, I did it. No, I'm saying that's incorrect. You're not following an instruction, because when you fax the OMB, you'll get a confirmation for that. That will be first before you do the SSA.
Understood.
I have to see that you're going to do that, because I know how people are. People are going to turn around, do this, and then when they fax it, forget to take out the fax cover from SSA. Next minute it's in there. Then I don't give you a certificate of achievement. I give you an indigenous recognition.
Understood.
That's because it's on security paper. However, it's not the same as the certificate of achievement. That's our goal.
Right.
So this is testing people's ability. We're only speaking one language. So this is why it kind of makes me wonder, like, hold on a second. we're speaking one language, English, so that should be fully understood as to what we're talking about. So if people are having problems, okay, they're not comprehending, they need to contact me and this has to be fixed, because it's easy to show who's being taught properly when it's fast, when you're doing your videos, etc. That knocks out all the hustlers because they got to show their face. These guys won't show their faces. The people who do the documents won't show their face. I keep telling them, the US government, Canadian government, they're watching what I'm doing. They say, yep, that's right. And they'll say, yep, they're not going to publicly say it. Privately, yes, because they'll see, yes, these are the people we can tell he taught them directly. He gave the information from them directly. The people who are hustling now, trying to say, I can show you how to do it. Are you at the UN? No. Do you have a UPR against the United States of America? No. You have one against Canada? No. You have one against any country? No. How are they going to help you if all they're stuck in is domestic? Domestic is like chattel, is like a housekeeper, it's a servant. Yet these are the same people in the same breath will say, oh, we're descendants of kings and queens, we're first on the planet. So if you're first on the planet, then you're supposed to go to where all the countries go to tell all the countries and remind them we were here first. And if you can't do that, then you're not talking about freedom. That's somebody that's hustling Black people. That's a hustler. Empress, some more you need to change to your email. So put your email as your username. If you're on your phone, yeah, you need to do that. And if that's the reason why, that's another reason why we tell people don't use your phones.
Chief, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, just to clarify, I know I'm gonna make two separate ones. So thanks for the clarification. Now with the green, it says the green page. Do I do this here?
Yeah, that's acceptable. Yeah.
Right, and because it says 3 of them in this second one here.
Yeah, and then there's the where they actually where it's got the catalog number for the UNDRIP. It should say catalog number.
I see this third page. It says adopted at the third.
Yeah, that's the date it was adopted. Yep, you want
okay,
that.
So those 3 pages.
Need that.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify that because I was
Correct.
All white, Chief.
All white. Have you do white power?
White power.
All white. So next is Makatari. Makatari, greetings.
Greetings, Chief.
Greetings.
Yeah, am I right, Chief?
Yes, I hear you fine. Loud and clear. Yep.
Right. 2 things I want to, well, one thing I want to say and 2 things I want to ask.
Go ahead.
The reason why I haven't got access to my Calameo account is because it didn't from the laptop and as I told you before, the laptop it giving me a little trouble right now. So I have a part that is it, Chief?
Yeah, I hear you.
Right. And listening, I heard you talk about, right, this is a question. I heard you talk about when you take any in the so-called vaccines, yes, property at the state, right? It come like it's a property at the state, right?
Yeah.
So someone who took or someone who take the vaccine, would they be able to do a indigenous standing process?
No. Not unless they want, if they're prepared to do an uphill battle, I'd have to weigh that to see if they're that serious or not. But the way it's working is that person who took the vaccine is considered, they're not considered 100% human. This is what the US Supreme Court ruled. Because they took in, because what happens is that the injection site, and this is people. You get a magnet, they got it in the right arm, you get a magnet, put a magnet and it sticks to their injection. Those nanites have spread out the nanoparticles, which are magnetized, have spread out throughout their whole body. The vaccines work. So the vaccines generally were supposed to stay at the injection site. Instead, they've gone through. The next thing is it causes their cells are no longer circular; they are now tubular, and then they start clamping together, which is what happens for what? Blood clots.
So
a person who says that comes to me says, "Hey, I want to do it, but I've already took the injection." No, and the reason why I say that was because there was a case, I think it was in Colorado, where a jail guard was being told that he had to take the vaccine, so he was fighting it. Him and a few other of them, and then others capitulated and took it. He turned around and still said no. So the attorney, she's an independent attorney, Amorite woman, independent attorney, was doing her research and was like, what? Oh my gosh. So she said the people who took the vaccine, she's not representing them. They're toast. This is how everybody is treating it, because they're saying you're not 100% human by taking that genetically modified, because it's going to alter your DNA. Once your DNA is altered, you're not human. You're not considered organic. So therefore, the people who have taken it realize that they got tricked, are fighting. That's one angle. The people who took it and said, hey, whatever, they're not concerned. They have no right to complain because, for example, with the Moderna, they're getting hooked up to the cloud. And this is the next issue, is being in proximity with people who have taken the vaccine. Their body is producing spike proteins. And so those spike proteins is basically going to cause a person who hasn't taken the vaccine, their body, the person who took it, their body's going to start attacking themselves. And then the person who didn't take it, who's in proximity to them, will get those spike proteins. They're going to turn around and start what? Producing spike proteins for their body to attack themselves, because it causes inflammation. And the biggest one is inflammation of the brain and the heart. There's LND out here right now. And what I mean by LND is life and death now. So when I was telling people to be serious, to be disciplined and everything, people didn't like me, they got mad at me, and I said, it don't matter, I know what is going on. Now the government is telling people, you have to do this, you have to do that. Stephen Riley down there in Cairo is talking mandatory, saying we have an outbreak of the unvaccinated. All of that, he's part of that. He's any MP that sits in the legislature or in the Red House in Trinidad and Tobago has to swear oath to Elizabeth. And it got released that Elizabeth was the ones that financed the account that created the COVID. It's already been revealed. That was UK. So the royal family got a stake, so-called, got a stake in this Wuhan fraud. They're partially financing this. So it's not like, oh, Bill Gates is off by his own and this one's off by his own. No, Bill Gates' father was a eugenicist. So they're all working together. They give everybody the illusion that Elizabeth's over here, Barack's over here, Bill Gates is over here, this one's over here. No, they're all together. One great leper brotherhood. That's what that shit is. So now that to tell people, mask up, the people who didn't like me and didn't like the discipline I was enforcing, yes, I bet you they wore that mask. No, didn't they? Yes. Now, for some of them, they tell no, you have to take the shot, or it's mandatory, coercing people, scaring people. Now what? They're going to do it. Then when they're mad, what are they going to do? They're going to fight back at that point? No, they're done. They're telling people, don't take it, don't be in close proximity of people who've taken it. Also, it means
People who like to go out to restaurants, forget that. People who like to order food, forget it. Because you'll have people who are vaccinated working on your food. So as they're breathing, wearing a mask, which is not going to stop those molecules, you're basically getting spike protein on your food. So this is what it is. It's coming back to commerce. So me, I look at this to say, when I was telling people to be disciplined, people didn't like me, they was mad, everything. I don't care at this point, because now the people down there, whether it's Kyrie, Barbados, St. Vincent, what have you, they're falling lock, stock, and key with the UK, with the New World Order, with all of that. All of them is Negroes, and they're telling you, you have to take it, you have to this, you have to that. Now what are people gonna do? And then when they do, and they have, it's logical they would want to resist that, they can defer to what? Contract. These are Black people who have no standing at law, so they have no right to resist. Shut up and take the damn vaccine. So people who was listening to me would have listened, they would have been in a better position now in terms of resisting. And this is what I've had to tell other people, especially for the people in the Caribbean who are following that common law stuff. Well, I said, well, common law goes back to England. You got to have standing at law. So you got to have a contract somewhere out on the planet published saying that you are white. If you don't have that, fighting the Wuhan is pointless. Because why? You don't have a contract. And the courts, like down in Cairo, the courts follow whose law? British, UK law. UK law, Black people are considered in the Latin civilitas mortuus, dead in the eyes of the law. So they're not going to listen to you all. And then they can instruct the officers, these people are Black, you ain't got to listen to them because they've been living Black any damn way. Do you see where I'm coming from? Do you understand how serious this is now?
Yeah, Chief.
This is what I was telling people, because you have a momentum when you realize you got to take advantage of the time. And I told people time is going to sneak up on people. And here we are. And I told the shapeshifters to say, no, why don't you come out so everybody can see you? Let's see some scales and tails. What they got to do is what? Dumb down the public. So drug people, therefore, when people see a shapeshifter or they see a human reptile that's been living on the planet around the same time as our ancestors were, then it's not going to be able to just be normal, not realizing those are their oppressors, because they'll be able to set out a frequency to control their mind. This is why I told people get into your spirituality, get into your magic. Anything else?
No, Chief. The when you was kind of answering about when I had asked if anybody could do the indigenous signing process, that part the internet had dropped a little bit now, so I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
I didn't really.
Let me see somebody. Okay, go ahead. Say it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when you was
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Chief. When you were explaining about, well, early in the talk just now there, when you was explaining when I had asked if anyone could do the indigenous signing process after they had been vaccinated, the internet had just dropped a little bit when you really was getting down in the crux of, really explaining.
Yeah, and the crux of it is no.
So what I was watching, right, is how the loophole closing now. So
yes.
Just
and this is before 2024. So this is what, so you see now, when I was talking about 2024 and people were saying, well, what happens if, after that? I said, well, after that, you won't have a chance. So they're desperate. Those guys have listened to me and they're accelerating. No, it's not enough people vaccinated. We need more vaccinated. I said, okay, well, Gibraltar is 100% vaccinated and they're still having COVID outbreaks. Gibraltar, everybody in that country is 100% vaccinated and they still getting COVID outbreaks. That's because the vaccine is the problem, not the COVID. And then of course they have the 5G connected to the motherboards that's sending out the COVID frequency. So they had people muffle themselves for a year to weaken their immune system. While they're doing that, taking the test, they're getting hooked to the cloud. While they're getting hooked to the cloud, so it could pass the blood-brain barrier, they could monitor people. They had all this stuff online, so they wasn't waiting till damn 2024, or if they were. And then I started saying stuff, and they said, we need to hurry up and get these people on hooked up. We got to get these people converted and turn them into synthetic humans, because that's what they're becoming. Then they can't do this. And if I find out afterward somebody came on the webinar, did it and didn't tell me, I'll deal with that accordingly. Because I've said this before, they're not playing with people. These entities, these hybrid reptiles, contaminated by grays, they're not playing with you all out here on Tiamat. This ain't no joke to them. They are drop dead serious. And so when I was serious, people were upset. Well, I don't want nobody telling me what to do, da, 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 da. And I know her ass down in DeKalb got to wear that damn mask now. So when they start really flexing, you see what they were doing in flicking Australia? The police was jumping on people and then injecting them with the fucking injectables when people went down to protest in Australia. That's Amorites. On Amorites. So I can only imagine, like they use Haiti as a testing ground. I can only imagine in the Caribbean, and they'll get them dumb black people, black politicians down there. They'll jump on that hook, line, and sinker. So what it comes down to is there's a concept of nobility that, okay, they got fooled, and they'll say, yes, they got fooled, and they'll warn people, don't do it, they're a goner. Instead, what's happening is that madness has now taken over where they know they've messed up, and what are they doing now? They're turning around and telling people, hey, you got to take the shot so we can go back to normal. So back to normal would mean for Black people, in particular, people of African descent, that you're still going to be in a position of what? No standing at law. So they want, so you have one faction that wants Black people to help with the vaccinations, and you have another faction that wants Black people to fight against it. But they're not telling those Black people that what they need to do is they need to what? They need to change their status. They need to help those Black people to help them by telling them, hey, you're actually white in commerce. That's not what happens. So True North Alliance in out of Ottawa in Canada, they know my CV, they know who I am. And I said, okay, name me a Black person of Africa. I went in front of all those Amorites and said, I'm white. So let's not get it twisted. And the Amorites sat there and didn't say nothing. And then I said, okay, you're telling Black people in the Caribbean to use a common law procedure of serving people directly, which you can't do. I mean, you could do it, but the point of the matter is, you don't have a third-party witness, because it's like the dead trying to talk to the living, and you can't do that because they're contracting as dead as well. So now what happens if they try to bring those common law procedures into the court? They're going to get what? Kicked out, because the judges, even if the judges themselves are Black or African descent or Afro-Caribbean or Carib or Arawak or West Indian, they have been what? Trained in the UK law. They have gotten their mind hacked and projected with the mentality that anybody who's Black who comes in, who's not part of the judiciary or the law enforcement, has what? No standing at law, so they don't have to listen to them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Chief.
So there's nothing to say anymore. These guys out here is killing people. That's why they call them kill shots. On rents.com and other places, they're saying these are kill shots. You might not drop dead immediately, but you're gonna die taking that stuff. So they're not playing with people out here. So when I was telling people to take being white serious, it's not a joke. Now here we are. I had one of my trainees yesterday found out her husband went and took the shot for 2 months and didn't tell her. So she just found out sometime last week or whatever, and she flipped out. She was hot because she knows that it's no good, but he didn't tell her.
Because at the moment right now, the Prime Minister, they like the Syrians, the more governing business sectors, like the Syrians that own the malls and the Syrians that own the KFCs, well, the more popular business on them.
Yes.
It has certain workers, they're making sure that the workers vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right. And it has some well, I was watching on internet just last week, 1,020,200 and just a few people, they are not vaccinated at the moment right now. So the majority of people, they didn't take the vaccine yet, and the majority of people in Trinidad, in Cairo right now, they're kicking against the vaccine. They're saying that, oh, well, they can't make it mandatory and whatever. But without being a status, without having a status change right now,
yes,
you really don't have no saying that they will make you.
And they can because of what? Contract. They're not going to tell them that, and the people are going to say, we have rights, we're people, we're this. No, you're black. Black has no standing at law, but they're not going to tell them because that is like a what do you call it? A reset button that stops everything. So this is why I was telling people years ago, yes, do it this way. We're showing people how to follow. Some people think it's not fast enough for them. I said, no, if you stay consistent, the time will be like nothing. But you got to be consistent, you got to be disciplined, and you have to acknowledge this is a process. You're not going to do this overnight. Nobody learned how to ride a bike one time. You're going to fall before you start learning your balance. So it's the same thing with this. I'm guiding people on how to do that to increase their learning curve, provided they are disciplined and realize, okay, I got to be patient, for lack of a better word. I have to wait and go through what? The growing pains of learning something new. So I'm not going to be able to just snap one day, okay, eyes white, and that's it. No, you're going to have to learn everything that comes with it. This way you separate yourself from certain people. You don't hang out with certain people. We were telling people that before the webinar, and I know people didn't like it and they weren't listening. Now when they're saying, yeah, you got family members that took the shot, no, forget it. I went and saw my so-called mother at our embassy because I'm claiming that land regardless. And I got claims as well as the company that did a reverse mortgage is aware of it because I notified them and the county. Her Amorite husband, boyfriend rather, is running the place down. We went out there when she hit the door. I said, "Oh, how you doing?" I said, "Did you take the vaccine?" She was like, "Yeah, I had to." I said, "Why did you take that?" Now she's a nurse for 40 years. When I had taken the hepatitis shot because they said, "Oh, there's an outbreak, I need to take it," she told me, "Why did you take it?" I said, "Well, I thought, they said there was an outbreak." She said, "No, a lot of those vaccines, they're old and they're expired." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes." She said, "You should have asked me." She said, "I would have told you not to take that." So I said, "Okay." So I learned from that back in the mid-90s. So now when this came up, I said, "Oh no." So when I asked her, she said she took it to her doctor. I said, so your doctor told you to take this? I said, oh, him, huh? Dr. Gallup, and he told me, okay. So so you took both of them? She said, no. He said to wait 6 months. I said, but why would you wait 6 months? They said, the manufacturer said you got to take those within 6 to 8 weeks or 40 days or whatever it was. Yeah, well, 6 to 8 weeks or probably not even that, like within 2 weeks of each other. Otherwise, they said they're going to be ineffective. And she said, well, that's what he told me. I said, okay. And then that was it. I showed her our children, and then that was it. I hopped in the car and we left immediately. So when I was telling people don't hang around Black people, they bring problems, they Satanist people, was like, no. Now I saw a video, a couple of them from there in Cairo. One guy told his daughters she can't go out with no guy that has the shot, and she can't get married. And he also told his family, if any of them get that, they can't come by him. Saw it, Cairo. Then I saw another one that was recent dealing with Gibraltar. Gibraltar is 100 in Africa, 100% vaccinated, and are still having outbreaks of COVID. So that means the vaccines don't work, period. Because see, when they said you take the vaccine, it's going to handle that, and everything will go back to normal. Now you have a country, them and Seychelles was another country that was hit the threshold of like 70%, and they were still having outbreaks. So the vaccine don't work because it's not a true vaccine. It is an experimental injectable. They are doing a planetary experiment to see what will happen. And they got Bill Gates to finance all of that. And now people are waking up, other doctors are waking up, people working in the medical field are waking up and blowing the whistle. This is crimes against humanity. Now, here's where I'm going to be real for everybody who wants to hear. If a person is not in their proper status, we're going to talk with the Amorites first. They consider themselves citizens, this, that, the next. However, if they don't have a notation that they are not a corporation, they are going to be treated in the same category as the Black people. So that's why they're saying if a person took that, that's what the attorney said, the people who took the shot, she's not representing them. They're done. They've already taken it. She's dealing with the people who haven't taken it, yes, to defend their rights. Why? Because they are still human. The people who took the damn experimental are just like that TV series, The Walking Dead. That's what they are. So therefore, their RNA, the mRNA is going to change their DNA. And what's going to happen? They are no longer truly human. They are more cyborg. Even though, don't think because it's small, it's weak. Small does not mean weak. Small just means more compact, smaller. That's all that is. So those people who took it are not really human. And so they wanted to see what's happening. Plus, what is the connection with Nibiru? I had stated this in the past. You heard me say, when I was asked the question, well, what about the Anunnaki, the Nibiru? I said, it's a combination, it balls in their court as to what they want. And this came from an Amorite by the name of Stuart Swerdlow. Late 90s, he said, when Nibiru talk was big, and he said, yeah, the Anunnaki are coming back to Earth. U.S. military knows it, governments of the earth know it, etc. So what's the thing that they would do? Well, I don't want these people to be free, even though they have a position over you. They're contracted and would have to go with those demons. That means there's nobody for them to bully. They become bullied by the people they contracted with. Understand? So they don't want you walking away, going on no ship, going in no underground, because now you're free, and then you'll tell the story to your generation. This is what happened. So use your damn head, use some sense, question everything, blah, blah, blah. Now what happens is the Anunnaki show up. So they say, listen, they're ours and we'll fix the problem. F you, talking about the governments and them working with the other extraterrestrials. If they take the position of, well, you took them, whoever is still organic will harvest or take with us, right? And you guys do whatever you want with them. That's a way of looking at it. If they say it's our creation, because this is what Stuart Swerdlow said, that the Anunnaki are coming for their creation. They ain't coming for gold. They said they could get that anywhere. They're coming for their creation, the black race. So if they're coming for us, right, just using that for the sake of the phrase, and we're their creation, and then the governments inject us by coercion, threat, duress with nanobots, that violates universal law, because our DNA was Mother Ninty, Ray, etc. That's in us. And then they turn around now and violate that contract, and they'll want to use, well, they agreed to it. Yes, but if you put them under pressure to take that, that was not a free, what they say for the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples is called free, prior, and informed consent. If there's not free, prior, and informed consent, then it's not a valid contract. They can't be coerced, which is what's happening. But you have to be on that level to invoke international universal. You understand? So like I was saying before, this is where Black people are at right now. I'm just going to put the little loop here again. So when Black people are on this loop for Christianity, this loop for Islam, or this loop for Judaism, they talk in religion, which is ignoring the fact that their existence was brought about by extraterrestrials. So if they accept these feedback loops, they're locked within that contract. The Anunnaki say,
internet dropping cheap.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah. Yes, you.
All right, see, so I say Anunnaki, Natiru. So when this happens here, this is where the mind
the
of
internet
the people,
dropping real bad.
yeah.
I know you're in your clear.
All right.
I know you're in your clear, chief.
All right. So when you see Black people in these circles, these feedback loops, these spiritual prisons of religion, and the remedy is over here. If they're over here mentally, that's it, they're done, they're toast. And so that's why I keep telling people it's important that they do their spirituality to keep what? Your energy field up, keep your spiritual energy up, because that's what the Anunnaki are looking for. They're looking for light. There's no light in any of those areas that I showed you. The light is what? Temporary, it's not its full potential. Overs?
Yes.
So now people are realizing I wasn't the bad person the whole time. I am here to assist. But if people don't want to listen, I'm not going to fight them. So if the Anunnaki want to take the position that, well, we can't salvage anyone, we can't, and we don't want what they've done to go out into the universe, they'll just destroy the planet. See, at that point, that's when people will wake up and realize, no, they were warned. They were warned. There were avatars and masters that came before me warning people. Now here it is, because what? Their economics, which they have been seduced and hypnotized and mind control, is now gone. So now people can't deal with the reality that what they thought was real, waking up every day, having my Coco Rico, having my Starbucks, all of that stuff. Yeah, that's material. But what is it doing in the big scheme of things? What's happening? People weren't paying attention. So now people got to wrestle with making life and death decisions now. So this ain't no movie, people. This is for real out here. So if you know friends, family, acquaintances, associates that you know went and got the shot, you gotta stay the hell away from them. Now I'm not the bad person no more. I'm like, you got other people on different channels saying it's spike protein, stay away. So all this going out partying, done. Ordering out food, done. What's happening? You're gonna learn to be what? Self-sufficient. So that's why I said people who are not healthy, you better start getting healthy now, because if they do another lockdown as they're anticipating, that I anticipate there's gonna be another one, people ain't gonna be ready. They're not gonna be ready for what they're gonna break out, because they're gonna put it that your house will become your prison. And if people were tired of being in the house, and if you don't have a place where you've got space where you can at least get out the house and be in your own yard, whatever, you're in an apartment or apartment complex and stuff of that nature, complete hell. Some people were going through complete hell, and it wasn't a problem for me. We were get up, work out. It was no problem for us. We was getting up, working out, exercising. So meditate, get into your magic, chant. I keep telling people, I got nothing left to prove to anybody here. These people are out, I'm talking your politicians, local, state, federal, even some of your entertainers. They are all on the bandwagon, knowingly or unknowingly, to kill you. When, what's his name? Eric Clapton, and he took both shots. When he realized he made a mistake, and he said he's not with this lockdown stuff, and he realized it was BS. He knew he made a mistake. There was some drummer for a group just the other day. The rest of the group kicked him off because he refused to get vaccinated. There was an NFL coach about 3 weeks ago who refused the vaccine. They let him go. The team cut him. So when I tell people, hey, get yourself a tent, some people might, it's going to be tent city, and because the CDC repealed the eviction orders, now people who were being protected from being evicted, they have now lost that protection in the US corporation. So yeah, you're going to be seeing tent cities pop up. So Skid Row in California, that's nothing in comparison to what's going to be happening. Anything else?
No, Chief.
All right. White power.
All right. White power.
Jaguar 86, you gotta put your email so we know who you are. If anyone has a question, please put it in the chat. If you have a document I gotta approve, please put it in the chat. If you have a video I gotta approve, please put it in the chat. Where is Anjani? Is she still here? Okay, so she left, so her SE's corrected, that's fine. Let's see here. So that looks like that's it. So there's nothing else. No. Jaguar, you gotta go down to participants, find your name, and then change that. I'm gonna wait, because if you don't do it now, when you come in the next time, it's gonna revert back to that. So go to participants, find your Jaguar 86. There we go. Fantastic. All right. So anyone else have any questions, comments, or questions rather before we finish? Excuse me. Speak now, forever hold your peace for 7 days, unless you need to call me beforehand. All right, go ahead. Turn your camera on. Mr. Fear. There you go. Go ahead.
There we go. How you doing, Chief?
I am that I am. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great. First time on?
No, sir.
All right. Chiefs only, no sirs. Sir is what the English told the Indians. It means slave I remained.
Yes. I agree. My apologies on that. You're correct. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. I remember you. Great, great, great. So, so go on ahead. What is your question?
Oh, I didn't have a question. I didn't click the button or nothing.
Oh, like, because that's what it, because it just flashed. Okay, my error. No problem. Much appreciated.
Yes, Chief.
Chun Ivory. Go ahead, Chun Ivory.
No, I was needing to know what the declaration.
Say it again. You broke up.
What was the format? What format the file needed to be in?
Yeah, I've been waiting for your email. You sent me the email what you've done before we get to even answering this question. That's what I've been waiting on.
Oh yeah, I done them. I just want to make sure I'm in
I need the
format.
publishing links. Need the publishing links.
Okay. What's the format you needed in?
No. The public. Oh no, you said you did it already. So
One in
are they
PDF
published?
and no.
All right, so they should be in PDF. Email them to me, and I'll look at them during these next 7 days.
Okay.
PDF.
PDF. Okay.
All right. Yeah, PDF and email it to me.
Okay. Hotel.
Hotep. Yeah, go work
Okay.
on your work. What state are you in? Because you got some internet issues. What state are you in?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Texas. All right. Yeah. So just work. Make sure your router's not being blocked or anything because you're getting a little bit of interference.
Okay. Hotel.
Hotep. I'm in ETAP. Go ahead.
Gawat, Marco. You heard the Serbian taking the job?
Say that again.
The Serbians. They said that Marco they said that Arturo took the job.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that months ago.
Yes.
But they don't really matter. They're black.
That's correct.
They can't stand. Look at this. Let's look at the pattern here. When Victoria Broussard and Mario and the UN embassy and Duswa York and all of that stuff was going on, people from there were coming and contacting me. Every time I challenged them, they could not face me. So I knew right away who they were, agents. I said, Victoria's not going to accomplish anything. What happened? Did she accomplish anything? No. Then I hear Mario and her have split. I said, yeah, because both of them already knew that they weren't going to win and they were hiding stuff from the people. So I don't particularly care at this point about the Nuwabians or Sabians. I heard about them saying, action race to get the Moderna or not the Pfizer or whatever. I'm like, no, bump that. They ain't got no proof he's alive. Come on. How he has angioedema, but he's going to take, come on. The question needs to be asked to them, did Atumray tell them to contact me? And the answer is yes. And between his American family, his Sudanese family, and all the people who said they were claiming to help him, they all kept that hidden as best they could. Now that it came out, the Nuwabians who were following, what did they do? Nothing. They still on autopilot. So this shows the difference between the mortals and the deities.
Correct. One more thing. I am getting light bills, and all since the beginning of the year, it is coming credit.
Yes.
And
yes, go ahead.
I do not know if that is because of the SC. I do not know. But
No, it's not the statutory claim. What they were doing was they were giving a credit. They were doing that up in the states that people were going to pay the bill and then it was credited. So where did the credit come from? They are wanting to bring in what's called universal, not universal, but basic income. This is what they plan to do. And Dr. Buttar, in one of his videos about a year ago, got the information. That was from up here in the Liberal government of Canada, that they said what they're going to do is they're going to tell people, okay, we'll give you basic income. It'll cover all your bills and everything, expenses. That's why they're already crediting that. However, in exchange for that, you're going to have to sign away all your rights in perpetuity.
All right.
So they're going to create this economic situation. That's why they said there's no shortage of food. There ain't no shortage of food. They're paying the farmers to burn crops.
The dumpy crops as well. The dumpy crops.
They're paying the farmers to burn crops. They're paying them. There was a guy in New York was at the port. They said there's no wood because wood is expensive. Siding is expensive. He went and looked at them. He said, look at all this wood. Look at all this wood. Something's going on here. There's no shortage of wood. It's artificially created. And the problem is when people who are working are speaking against it, they're getting mad. This has everything to do with Nibiru. Because what's going to happen, which is what I said, you see there's a video here. Let me play the video. This is going to give some of y'all some upliftment to know there's something else aside from this stuff. Where's my Facebook here? I put a video, I got it up early today, right? And it's fitting that this kind of video came out during the UN International Day for World's Indigenous People. Let's see, which one is it here? Photo. Let me see if this is it. This might be his. Yeah, that's not the one. Okay, that's a photo. Oh, okay, I went back. I went way back. Okay. YouTube. No, that's 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Oh, that's not the video. Don't tell me I can't find it now. That would be so hilarious. Yeah, because there we go. This is it. This should be it here. No, that was from the UN. Okay, so this will be afterward. That was today when I was on the UN working group. Okay, that's good. Okay, so these are all the questions. Wow, I went back real fast. Okay, etymology. This is all when I was on the UN today on the world's indigenous peoples. Like everything, all these precedents that I'm setting, people should actually be taking pictures of it, framing it, and taking selfies. Let's see here. Let me see if this is the post. Okay, no, that's not it. This is it. I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody. One second. All right, so the link is here in the chat. When I see this is euphoric me. I can't speak for everybody else. So that proves there are other elements of existence aside from what we're seeing here. Let me play it again. I know some people, what? Yeah, and this guy did it broad.
You guys have any questions before we move on? Anything you want to?
Right here, you see 3 ships right here.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell that there might be some ships right here in the upper part of the atmosphere of the moon.
Oh. Yeah.
So I can't stress enough to people the importance of what you're learning, implement it, and know that there's a bigger universe, bigger existence out there.
Sure.
So all the work that has been done with our requested intergalactic confederation, I said, we've got to give them an incentive. Because I keep telling people, if need be, there's a book. Let's see, I have it here. This is one of the books Action Ray wrote. Let me see here. There. Right. And I say this, I do this because I know the government is watching me, and I want them to see, like, I'm telling everybody, we know this is the book here. Right. Let me take this pin off so everybody can see. Great balls of fire cast at the earth.
Yes. Yes.
So this ain't no joke, right? Who are the Anunnaki? This is on page 88. Answer. The word Anunnaki itself is broken down as those beings that Anu, the highest deity, sent down from heaven to earth. Kai. The Anunnaki are known to many as the Elohim, the Elohim, or Nitaru. To the ancient Tamarians, they are a supreme race of beings whose name is Denir in the cuneiform language, which was given to the Sumer people. The very high Anunnaki are few in number. They are of such an advanced state that if you confronted one with a weapon, they would let you shoot them rather than harm you. Originally, 10,000 were left here to guide humans. They are down to 24 to all until August 12, 2003, when the vortex will open again. So the vortex opens every August 12th. These very high live to be quite old according to your time, or what you call old age. 1,000 years is not unrealistic to the Nitaru, Anunnaki. There's this TV series on Netflix about an Amorite woman who's like over 1,000 years or 500 years old. So you see where they're getting it from. For 1,000 years of Earth time is one day to them. One day of the Nitaru time is 1,000 years in one time. Some of them live on a starship used by the High or the Uqui and are preserved and cared for by those on the ship. They serve as the eyes of the higher culture, while the Greys and Ayuku fly missions for them. And keep in mind there's 70 different species of Greys. This is how Natir Aferti Atumre explained it further. Billions of years ago, the very high Nitaru or Anunnaki reached a level where they understood how to create and modify life forms to the extent where they created the cloned species known as the first Greys. These Greys cloned by the Nitaru were good Greys, and they were their helpers. The Greys were created vegetarian and were given high metabolism to offset heat loss. When the Nichiru created humans, they included what was emotional and physical characteristics appropriate for Earth. The reptilians kidnapped the Greys after they were set free by the Nichiru and altered their genes, isn't that what's happening now? To enslave them. Because of the mixing of genes, some of the Greys now are benevolent and some are malevolent. So some are agreeable, some are disagreeable. When people say that all Greys come from Zeta Reticuli, it is an overstatement because the Greys were scattered. They may have come by way of Zeta Reticuli, however, they are everywhere. Some of these Greys that are descendants of the original good Greys, the ones cloned by the Nichiru, although they work for the reptilians, they want help from humans. They want to breed with humans to get that reptilian gene out of their genetics. The Nichiru, your parents, have 180 degrees of agreeable and disagreeable on the outside of them. For every disagreeable Nichiru, there is an agreeable counterpart, and vice versa. They live together and overcome the disagreeable from the outside as submissive, meaning that any job they are given to do, they will execute it without any questions or excuses, unlike humans, who always have an explanation why they didn't do what they were told to do. Always running away from responsibility. If 180 degrees of the agreeable conquers the 180 degrees of disagreeable, then they have 360 degrees of agreeable. They will then move on to meet a counterpart that is 360 degrees of disagreeable, and will have to conquer that and go on to become 720 degrees of agreeable and start their journey to become Etherians, who are pure energy. Etherians are the children of the All, who incarnated into the form of an Anunnaki, which is known to many as Elohim, Elohim, or Nichiru, to the ancient Tamareans. Extraterrestrials, or simply extra-terra astrals, Malaic, the Etherians are the higher form. Then you have the Igigi, who are the most high priest of the Etherians. And then you have the Nichiru. If the 360 degrees of disagreeable are conquered here, the Nichiru becomes an Etherian again. You as a human, your body consists of solid body, liquid, blood, and gas, oxygen. When you die, you return to gas, which is ether. So you see the part there about the genes, with the Greys getting their genes altered? That's what's happening right now. Understood? XLO of Proton Mail, go ahead, you have your hand up. MXLO at Proton Mail, you having a nice snack there?
Sorry. So my question is there a way I can get email like specific directions or specific order on how to do my correction for my status as far as changing it to white? I don't know if it's different because it's me and my two sons. So basically, I just wanted to know, like, how can I do it in a way where it's me and then, you know, my sons follow along with it? align with it.
Yeah, but when we spoke the last time, you said that you don't have your sons in your custody, right?
Right, but I still have their certificates. I can still change their status. They don't have to be in my
Who's the legal guardian?
I still have to go in court. I still have to go in court. So before I go in court,
Who's their legal guardian currently?
say that again.
Who is their legal guardian?
So my mom had kinship gap, and
What's
my
that?
youngest son, huh?
Kinship gap. What is that?
Basically, she has just basically legal guardianship over him.
Okay, so you have to talk to her that this is what you want to do for them, and she has to agree to it. If she doesn't, you can't do it. You can only do for yourself.
That's not technically true if I have their bonds and I'm doing all of their paperwork.
You're black.
And I'm gonna go.
Not what I said.
Say that again.
Where are your sons right now? Who has them right at this moment?
Right, but that was only done by the court. So I still have.
Listen, I'm here to assist. If you're gonna either you answer the question or I'm gonna flip
No, I am answering your question, but I know what they
listen. Hold on, I want you to listen. Let's get something straight here. I'm gonna say this, and I want you to understand this. Don't take this personal, but I want you to realize something. You are not in a position to dictate the terms of your freedom. Period. You are a black woman. You should be grateful. I'm even listening to you. I don't have to. You're on the webinar. I'm showing you the deficiencies because if I was the system fighting you, I know exactly where to pinpoint. I know where the weak spots are. I'm pointing out to you your weak spots. You want to do this for your sons. Great. I asked you, who's got legal guardianship? Your mother. Where are they at right now? With her, correct?
Right, but I'm trying to explain to you the stipulation of the contract that was told to me that I have the right to still go back into court to change that status. That's what I'm explaining.
No, you have the right to go back to get custody of them. You don't have the right to change their status. Their legal guardian is your mother. Did you not just say that?
Right, but if I claim their bonds, which is the original contract.
You're not listening to me. What is your current status right now? You're
right,
black.
A black woman, so I'm going to change my status.
Listen. Black has, I know somebody's black, and I can't wait for people when they see this recording. Black has no standing at law.
I didn't understand that part.
Put your sons in your mother's custody. You do not have standing. Now, they'll take your money if you want to fight for them. They'll do all that. But at the end of the day, when they look at the file, they're going to see, oh, this is a black woman. She's African-American. Nope, we're not going to give her that, especially if you're trying to put them as to change their status. Now, if you've got joint custody with your mother regarding your sons, then you have to talk to her.
But my rights as a mother wasn't taken from me. This is what I'm trying to explain. There's only there's a specific way that my case was handled, and I wasn't going in there as a black woman. I'm hearing what you're saying. The black part, I'm looking to change my status to white. So I'm not going in the courtroom as a as a black woman. I don't see myself going in the courtroom as a black woman. I've been studying for a year now. So I'm here to get, this is what led me here with you. So I'm willing to learn and hear you.
I understand
but
that.
at the same,
you got to get something here, right? This is not, I'm pointing out, and it's painful for some people to accept, especially sometimes when it involves children. Right now, at this moment, on paper, are you white?
No, I'm not.
So therefore, the court knows you have no standing at law. You're not part of the body politic. You're considered dead in the eyes of the law. You have nothing with the contract. The court was the one that appointed your mother for custody of your sons, correct?
Yes.
So therefore, that is a contract that they gave that to your mother. She is their legal guardian. Are you and your mother on good terms? Are you all on agreeable terms?
Right now, somewhat, as far as his care, as far as her signing him over, no, but all of this was administratively done, which is technically that's not law. That's
not the issue. Listen, I'm watching your eye movement, right? I'm looking at your eye movement. You're not telling me anything about, oh, it's administrative. That means nothing. You're not getting this. Your foundation, you are a Black woman on paper. You're
I'm not
not
arguing that. I'm asking you a question. I'm saying I'm not going in the court as a Black woman.
Listen, hold on. You gotta listen. You told me you want to change your son's status, correct? Both of them. Right?
Yes, but I have to do it for myself first.
Great,
So
we get that. That's not the issue. The issue is because of the pre-existing contract with the legal custody with your mother having legal custody. The problem is if you can communicate with her, you're kind of on good terms with her, then you have to inform her of what you want to do, or what you do is you do yourself, you go up into the vessel, get your race and you put that on the record that your race and ethnicity has been changed, and then see what the response from the court is. Because if you cannot get your mother to accept what you want to do for your sons, and she doesn't have to listen to you because she has legal guardianship, then it's going to be an uphill battle where you're going to have to start pointing out, okay, well, listen, my sons we're Black, but here's what I want to do. You will have standing at law at that point to bring that up. However, I give you a caveat, a warning, that if, and I don't know who the mother is, I don't know the whole terms of the contract, but these type of things have the tendency that when you want to do stuff like that, the system will put the corral around and protection around your mother, even if she's doing something that you, hey, I don't want this for my sons, I don't want that.
For that.
All right, so good. So we're clear on it. Great, so we're clear on this. So you follow the caveat, the white time screensaver as the instructions are there. Once that's done, then you'll get to doing your interview questions. Once you get to the interview questions and you pass that, then we get into that level because you got to demonstrate what? Competency. The administrative side you're talking about is not technically a big issue, but the thing is, until you become white, and this is sometimes I'm explaining this to people because the system is looking at you as a ghost. You don't exist. They look at you as the invisible woman. So now what you're doing is saying, no, I am visible, I am real, and I do have standing at law. So therefore now they got to deal with you a different way. But I know in these things, especially with family, that's I'm giving you the caveat, letting you know that if you start experiencing resistance coming from your mother regarding certain things you want her to do for your sons, because I haven't seen the order, because the order may say
that's their way of using her basically against me to get what they want, to extract the accounts basically. And
no,
I just want you to know,
no, it's not extracting the account. They already gave your mother legal guardianship. They're already doing it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, to keep it that way as well.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. I just want you to know I'm not arguing anything that you're saying, and this is why I'm here to do those proper steps, because I'm prepared.
Are you prepared to lose your sons?
Am I prepared to lose my sons?
Yes.
if that's what happens, but I'm still prepared to take that chance. I'm not gonna just sit here and just be like, oh, okay, well, this happened. At least I know I could sit here and say, you know what, I put myself in a situation, you know, I came to my right mind, I'm competent enough, you know, I'm ready to go in and say like, hey, you know, this was a temporary situation and I'm ready to fix it. That's what was that, you know, that's what it was. It was a,
I understand that. The reason why I'm saying that is this is one of the things with freedom, and they see, the mothership tape was a great tape to watch. I'm saying this to, in case they want to use, because they like to use children as heartstrings, and they know parents will want to do anything and everything. So one of the things, this is why we put the focal point on getting out. Remember, I showed you the loops with the Christianity, the Islam, and the Judaism, and that's a spiritual loop. It's a spiritual trap. That's a constant feedback loop that you can't get remedy within there. Remember, I was showing that earlier on the screen. So when I start saying you guys are getting into spirituality to start creating that vibratory frequency to get that outcome that you want. Now, be prepared. There could be a battle. There could be a position where it's like, okay, they put so much, forget it. All it was, because meaning it wouldn't be about your sons. It was more so about you. And I've had other people that's happened to people who were grandparents. I said, oh no, that whole situation wasn't about you. It wasn't about your grandson. It was about you. And they were like, about me. I said, yes, this is where people are going to get tested. And this is, in case I didn't mention this is where y'all gonna see the devil. You're gonna see the devil here. So this is where spirituality, knowing spiritual principles, are what's going to help you get through without causing emotional damage and say, okay, well, this is what it is. I accept what it is. Now you're going to be calm internally. So no matter what they throw at you, trying to get you to bite at emotionally for you to react. She's not reacting. She's not this. She's not that. What? Then then it's like you start to transcend that. So that's what I want to convey to you. And so follow the instructions, because as you are on the webinar, you're going to learn how to conduct yourself in those type of situations, being honorable. And you can even read that, oh, you're trying to get me to
yeah.
Okay, nah, that's all right. That's all right.
And I just wanted to say, because trust me, I done seen many groups, I done studied so many videos, and the reason why I could have signed up with many other people, but I know it's a spiritual battle, and my spirit wouldn't let me rest. I'm studying and searching until I came across you, and now I feel somewhat settled, because it's like, this is the key that people are missing. You know, what you're saying is absolutely right, and it's a key factor. And you know, I like what you said on Wednesday's class, like, you know, whether people want to accept it or not, you are the centerpiece. Because like I said, I study a lot of people information, but they're not stressing what you're saying as far as changing your status in the system from Black to white, because that was a code that the system, the computer even recognizes it. So the computer knows what to do with it once it comes in the system like that, you know. And I just wanted to say that, and you know, I appreciate
Great,
all of this.
great. So make sure, do you have any of the quantum invocations from me?
No, I don't have that. I just have the first email where it says the steps, read this 9 times.
Okay, yeah, you should have the link for the quantum invocations on Facebook is in the white time screensaver. It should be in there.
Okay, so I have to create a Facebook. I deleted my Facebook a year ago.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna need just for publishing purposes.
Okay, no problem. I'll create
that's what you need that for publishing purposes. So what I'll do here, let me see. Yeah, start off with quantum invocations for protection, energy drains, stop attacks, me see here. Okay, all right, so let me, I'll just forward that to you if you like. I just want to make sure you're.
Yes, no, I would.
Okay, let us say, I gotta go to chat so I can get your email. Oh, participant, okay, all right.
And pardon me if I, sounded a little defense. I'm not defensive towards you. I would never be defensive towards you. I'm just, I'm very passionate. And
Yeah, I
just trust
understand
me.
that. You gotta learn to listen. Because see, when you get past like that with out of control, you miss things. And then portals and transfers that can put you on a particular path. By you doing that, it ends up putting you further and further away from where you'd like to go. Learn to listen.
And I get in my own way. And I'm getting in my own way, basically.
Yep. Let's see here. Oh, okay, I might do it this way. There we go. I'm just trying to copy your email here. It's giving me a problem. Let's see if I can cut it this way. Nope. Can't cut it this way. Can't cut it this way. Yeah, that's funny. I'm supposed to be able to double click. Yeah, because I'm supposed to be able to copy your email.
Hold on. I just updated it again. Maybe you could do it
now. Here, send me a private chat.
Okay, I got you right now.
Yeah, send it to your private chat. Should be able to cut it.
Okay.
I was noticing I wasn't able to do that on the UN stuff. Okay, I think it's coming now. Yeah, so I'm sending you one right now. So now you can just respond to that. Edwidge, you're going to be next, and then after Edwidge is going to be will be Anjani will be next afterward. There we go. So let's see here. Let's see if we can get this. So playing games. So yeah, so print it off, carry it with you, say it 3 times a day. All right, so it's sent. So please confirm if you got it.
Yes, I'm gonna check again just to make sure. The email, right? You sent the email just now?
I just sent to you just now.
Okay, I'm going to check it. Yes, I have it.
All right, so print it off 3 times. Print it off, say it 3 times a day. You pick whichever one you like. All white?
Okay, thank you so much. All white.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you so much. White power.
White power. Edgewidge, go ahead. Have your hand up.
Yes, Chief, I emailed you both the flex cover sheet and the SF81.
Oh, you're breaking up, man. You're breaking up real bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad.
How about now?
Still broken up, but I see your document here. All right, so let me stop share the screen here. Okay, so that's SSA. I don't want to see that just yet. Oh, because that was a separate. Okay. PDF. So you have no middle initial?
No, I don't.
Oh, wait, and there's no middle name on the SSN card?
No, it's not.
All white. Let's go here. So Let's just. All right, so go ahead. This OMB is good to go, so you can go ahead and fax that.
Okay. All right, Chief.
Oh, hold on a second here. I gotta go back. So OMB is good to go. Let me look at your SSA. All right, and so your SSA is good to go as well. So when you fax your SF-181, when you fax your SF-181 to the OMB, make sure that once it's done, you get a fax confirmation, and that will be the new page one. Make 10 copies of the entire package. One you'll send to HR at your job. They'll get the first one, keep one in your automobile, keep one in your, if you have a duffel bag, you carry a duffel bag or a briefcase, what have you, have an extra one on you, one in the car. You'll take the insurance card and staple that to the whole SF-181 package. And you're in where, Connecticut?
Connecticut, right.
Okay. And so check and see at the DMV if they do race and ethnicity. I don't think they do race and ethnicity in Connecticut, but check with if they do. If they do, great. I think they might. I'm not sure. It's been a while. And if they don't, then get the DMV record and have that. You'll get that. And what you'll do is you'll get the DMV record and staple that to the back. So the DMV record will be like so, and the insurance card will be like so, and your SF-181 package will be in the middle. And then you'll have that in your glove compartment. So anytime you get pulled over, you have everything right there at the same time.
My DMV record as far as my the license goes, or
pardon?
You said the DMV record.
Yes.
Would that be my record as far as my license goes?
Yes.
Like they print out my.
Yeah, they can do that. You can request that, but first see if they keep race at the DMV. If they do, you want to change it and have a copy for them. They may say, we don't do that here, or if they do it, they'll say, because now what they got, they were supposed to do it for free, but then they started saying, you got to get it, we can do it, but you got to get a new license and it's going to cost you $15.
Right. Fiat.
It was free at first, and then they went and flipped it and said, right. So I'm saving people some fiat, but now they're telling you got to redo it. So you don't be surprised if they say to do it. If they don't, just get a copy of the DMV and print that out and staple that to one and put that in the car. So your HR at the job, dentist, doctor, hospital. If you have a specialist, make sure they get a copy. Tell the whole package. Say, hey, I need this put in the file. If you went to college or university, contact the registrar and you tell them that, yes, I changed my race and ethnicity. I want this change reflected in my school record.
All right.
All right.
All right.
And then once you've done that, scan it and then email them to me. So I look at them and then I'll give you the go ahead to publish.
Okay. All right.
And then after that, you can start, you can actually start working on your video after you've done faxing. Start working on your video of your SF-181 experience video.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
Happy to do it.
I'll be the door. White power.
White power. Where is Anjani? Anjani, she was there. Anjani.
Chief, did I send you the corrected one?
You sent me one, said a corrected one, 6:11 p.m. That was an hour ago. I have been closed.
No, oh, that's 6:11 on your end. Because I went ahead and redid it like you told me to take the giraffe from the SD and put it on there. So I did that.
It worked? That worked?
Yes, yes.
See, this is how they do. Hold on one second. I just stopped sharing the screen. I'm just gonna click on real quick. Oh, isn't that much better? Doesn't that look better?
Yes.
All right, so go ahead. If you made the request and put it in the chat, make sure Sarah Saw's gonna be looking for it. And she'll forward you the attachments and you can get started on printing the attachments off.
All right.
All right?
Press the SC attachments. Yes, all right. Thank you. Oh, and Chief, by the way, you were correct because the DMV did charge me for me to do, correct my commercial status for my new driver's license. So I had to pay for that and I had to go back and pay for the record as well.
Yes. Yeah, so I totally overstand that. Then that's Florida. So,
Yes, they did.
all right then. So let me see. I think I have everything. Oh, who was this here that asked? Who is it? Fernando? Oh, Fernando. Oh, yeah, you had a question. What may I ask the significance of the colors of the flag behind me? All right, so you turn your mic on. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's probably kind of redundant question. I'm sorry, I haven't found any answers in the videos I watched so far.
Land, blood, carbon.
What? Land, blood, carbon?
Carbon. This is representative of us. Darkness, supreme balancement. We say carbon, we don't say melanin. This is where I played a video. It's on one of the other open Q&As. This was, I think it was the one that was banned. Yeah, it was the one I had to put it on huge. What is it called? Huge net? Let me pull it up here. I'll put up the link. Y'all can watch it afterward. But this was the video that I from the last open Q&A for July 3rd. It did not get uploaded. And so for those that were paying attention, it never got uploaded. Saturday, we almost didn't do it because we were doing other stuff. And so we missed that, and much appreciation to Kaonable for sending me.
Yeah, Jim, we had an incident here today. SAP's contacted me and the security companies contacted me asking for ammunition. I gave them about 10 boxes.
All right, so let me see here. Oh, I forgot it's right here. Open. There we go. I just saw it. So this is the one here that we did for July 3rd. So I'm going to put that link here. And YouTube said they could not process it. They said the processing was abandoned. So when I saw that, which is rare for YouTube to not upload a video of mine, I said, oh, well, I said, you know what this means? This means something I said on there caused YouTube to say, oh, we don't even want to have this on our server. So Usenet has it, so you'll have to look at that. But in there I play, this should be the one that I played yeah, because I remember watching it just today. Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi said, I don't know what, he said, what is melanin? What is it? He asked Dr. Cresswellsing. So we went and did the syntax on the word melanin. It comes from the Greek melis, black, okay, but that's still vague. What is it? Then he had asked the question to Layla Africa, who just died or transitioned recently, and said, what do you take to replenish melanin in your body? Because if you're deficient in vitamin C, you drink more juice. If you're deficient in vitamin A, vitamin D, you go out in the sun, right? So what is it that you need? What fruit or vegetable or food do you eat to replenish the melanin? Because we have a sun inside of ourselves and you're constantly burning. You really burn when you're fasting. So anyone who's done a fast knows what I'm talking about. You feel that burning in your solar plexus. So he asked the question. So then it hit me based on looking at the etymology. I said, oh, carbon. I said, hold on, are we missing something here? So went and looked up carbon, because they're saying, oh, we don't know what melanin is. So melanin is a game like COVID-19, because it has to be isolated. And if you can't isolate it, you can't describe something that can't be isolated. Is everybody in agreement with that? So melanin is not isolated, right? They have what they call melatonin that they sell in the stores. That's for people who can't sleep, and it helps them sleep. So on the screen here, let me go to here. This is carbon. So this, when I received this, blew my mind. Carbon. See, it's even highlighted. Computers with me. I didn't have to. Y'all see this? I didn't even highlight anything. I didn't even get the chance to highlight. It's already highlighted. Can everyone see that? If you can see it, say yes in the chat. Yes. So carbon. Yes. So I didn't touch. I just clicked and it went straight. All this is highlighted already. Right. So that's the computer. Carbon, from the Latin carbo, coal, is a chemical element with the symbol C and atomic number 6. It is non-metallic and tetravalent, making 4 electrons available to form covalent chemical bonds. It belongs to the group of 14 of the periodic table. Carbon makes up only 0.025% of Earth's crust. Carbon is the 15th most abundant element in the Earth's crust and the 4th most abundant element in the universe by mass, after hydrogen, helium, and oxygen. Carbon's abundance, its unique diversity of organic compounds, and its unusual ability to form polymers at the temperatures commonly encountered on Earth enables this element to serve as a common element of all known life. It is the second most abundant element in the human body by mass, about 18.5% after oxygen. So, all the conscious people, because I know they watch my stuff, but they don't say nothing. Why are you still pushing the word melanin when carbon is the second most abundant element in the human body? That means melanin is a scam word to take you off the fact that it is carbon. Because if it is melanin, you have to be able to isolate it and quantify it. And if it's not isolatable, then you don't know what you're dealing with, because they know there's dark matter, right? Let me see if the computer here is. I know I don't like them helping, but I know they hanging around. The computers, the computer intelligence, dark matter. Let's see here. Is this the picture here I'm looking for? No. Okay, so that's not the one. There is, let's see, picture of the universe. Okay, let's see, new picture of the universe. Make sure I get the right one. Let's see here. No, not NASA. The doctor, the picture's too damn much. Let's see, what's this? Because I have to get the correct phrase. Okay, scientists reveal new picture of the universe. Try this. It's not too bad. Okay, that's black hole though. Let me see. First ever black hole to be pictured. That's not bad, but that's not the one. That's merely black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole. Okay, scientists reveal new picture of countries in darkness. Let me see here. Let me check my email. I have that in new picture. Of the universe. Okay, this is a universe picture. Yes. Okay, so we got this. This is, I think, yeah, there we go. I have to zoom in. Okay, yeah, I got this off the news. This was Sloan Digital. Okay, so Sloan Digital picture. Sloan Digital picture of the universe. Okay, there it says Sloan Digital Sky Survey, and this is the picture that they had. This is on the news. Let's see here. I'll do it this way since they're being difficult. Let's go to images. Which one? Oh, all right, so this is it here. All right, so we'll use. Okay, let's try this one here. Okay, yeah, this here. So this is, oh, there it is. This is it right here. There we go. All right, so everyone can see it. I'm going to put the image in the chat. This is a great one. This is just going to be a classic for our UN International Day of the World's Indigenous People. This will be a classic. We're putting this recording up. We're recording. I'm going to put this up on the internet. So this will shake the planet. When this video goes up, it's going to shock them. There will be a lot of changes. So when we click on here, this should take us to here. So now, as you can see here, let me click again. All right. So what they have said, based on this image, they said 90% of the universe is darkness. So when you look out when the sun's down, you see the stars, what do you see more of? Darkness. So that is the ultimate reality. So in Buddhism, they talk about the greater reality and the lesser reality. The greater reality, there's nothingness. That's what they call it, nothingness. No, darkness. That's why in Star Wars, Darth Vader would say, come to the dark side. So this is representative of that. So now it's not melanin, it's carbon. Carbon is the 15th most abundant in the universe, second most in the body. Or pardon me, no, fourth in the body, 15th on the planet, but fourth carbon, the fourth most prevalent in the universe, and second in the body. So this means then that this is the reason for, these are the colors, this represents the female and the male. Our flag is the only flag that has actual people on the flag. Every other flag on the planet is colors. So let's look at the etymology of colors. We're going to come back to the picture. And for those that miss actors or overseers, so color, what is color? Noun. Early 13th century, skin color, complexion. From Anglo-French couleur, couleur, Old French color, color, complexion, appearance. Modern French coulier or coulier from the Latin color, color of the skin, color in general, hue, appearance, from Old Latin colos, originally a covering, skin to celare, to hide, conceal, because there's a Latin phrase, fraudum, este celare fraudum, it is fraud to conceal the fraud. From past intermediate English kel, to cover, conceal, save. Old English words for color were hue or blio. From for sense evolution, compare Sanskrit varna, covering color, which is related to vernati, covers, and also see chroma. Color, C-O-L-O-U-R, was the usual English spelling from 14th century, where C-O-L-O-R, the noun, was early 13th century. From Anglo-French, classical correction made color an alternative form from 15th century, and that spelling became established in the US. And the meaning of a hue or tint, a visible color, the color of something, is from circa 1300 as color, an inherent property of matter, that quality of a thing or appearance which is perceived by the eye alone, from late 14th century. From early 14th century as a coloring matter, pigment, or dye, from mid 14th century as a kind, sort, variety, or description. And color as the verb, late 14th century, to make something a certain color, to give or apply color to, also figurative, to use words to a certain effect. So going back to this image from the SESS, this is the ultimate reality, that the universe is darkness. It doesn't mean nothing is there. They've already found there was an area of the universe where there's no stars. That was these 15, 20 years ago that they feel, and they said they can't get past it. So they say there's something at the far edges of space where there's no more stars and it's darkness, and there's a barrier that they can't pass. So that's another reason why they got the computer going, to try to go into that plane, but they're going to find out the rough way that they can't come into another plane in the form that they're currently in. So this is the ultimate reality, is that darkness is everywhere. So embrace the darkness. Why? Where do plants grow mostly? In the sunlight or in the darkness? Come on, for all you planters out there. Where do the plants, the vegetation grows mostly? During the day or at shadow hour? Say that again. You just put it in the chat. I can't hear. Whoever's speaking, I can't hear. Shadow hour, darkness. Kimran, Sekhmet, darkness. Amenhotep, shadow hour. That's when the plants grow the most. They take the chlorophyll from the sun during the day, store that, and it grows during the shadow hour. So remember what it says in the Bib El. It said evening and then the morning was the first day. So we start following what it said there. You're behind. We're actually behind. Where when we arise, we're like, the day, great. That's according to the Bib El. The day, great. No, that's the end. Because according to the Bible, it said it was darkness first, let there be light, evening, and then morning was the first day. So that means when shadow hour comes, that's actually the beginning as per the Bible. And then the sun day is the set. Go ahead, Anjali.
Chief, I have I have another question, but it has nothing to do with what you're talking. Well, it does somewhat. When we're talking about spirituality and the Bible, I have this question about married couples and fasting. And I'm asking for a friend. When you're married.
The friend has to ask.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought about it because I was getting ready to tell this female this question, and I want to make sure that I'm right. She didn't ask me. I'm asking because I want to tell her this, but I want to make sure I'm correct. Because
And what's the question?
Okay, there it's a married couple, and when you fast, and when you're married and you fast, you know how the Bible says that you're not supposed to touch the woman while she's fasting, right?
Go on.
So then would I be correct to advise her when, for instance, this is a scenario, husband is sick, wife is with him, she's his backbone, right? They're one. But if he can't fast off food because of the health issues or sickness, shouldn't she be the one to fast in order to help the situation as far as spirituality in the home to help the mate overcome some things? I'm just asking, I'm thinking.
She could do that, but it all depends what the sickness is, because there's cases where the man will lay on his back, the woman will mount him and she'll heal him through sexual intercourse.
Excuse me?
There in the Bible, when David was damaged, they sent in one of the, I forget who it was, a woman, and she came in and she sat on him, meaning lying on his back. She sat on him and she healed him.
Okay.
Via vagina.
Okay. The male has multiple issues, high blood pressure, anxiety and depression, anxiety being the main ones. So
fasting is not, that's not going to do fast. I can't say it's not going to do. What I'm saying is it's going to drain her to fast for him.
Okay, so then, okay, all right. I didn't want to tell her the wrong thing. So by them,
what he needs, she can only kickstart him so much.
Right, exactly.
So much. If she tries to do that, she's going to end up actually losing her life force in the process, because people who are sick, they're depleted. And so now they start pulling on other people. This is why sometimes it's like, well, now because of the Wuhan, you don't have to worry about hugging nobody per se, but you generally keep your distance. Or somebody who likes to complain a lot, they're shrinking their hippocampus, you feel drained being around them. Those are another set of energy vampires.
All right. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that, because I need to, being in the field that I'm in and being, the holistic coach that I am in training doing. And when I'm coming across this, I need to be correct when I'm having these conversations with couples. So that's why I asked the question. She didn't ask, but this is something that I was thinking.
No, because he's the one that's got the health issue, not her. And
right,
if she
correct.
asks him, that's not that I don't see, and I'm not saying you can't provide. It should be some sort of it'll be more of a healing for her, especially if he's draining and it's a chore to have to take care of him. She will get some benefit out of it, definitely, by fasting. But
okay, all right.
I don't see him getting anything out of it.
Okay, all right. And so I was right in saying that she probably need to do a fast to strengthen herself in some areas, especially spiritually, because it is draining to her going through this.
You gotta meditate. That's what you gotta do, more spirituality.
And I've been telling him that. I've been telling him meditation. And I have been telling him to learn how to work his magic. I have been doing everything that you've instructed me and taught me, that I've gone on that path, and I've shared that all with him. And so hopefully, he'll get strong enough where he can overcome.
If he's black and she's black, I don't expect you to get.
They were actually on. He was actually on earlier. But he got sick. He started feeling. He was actually on earlier.
Oh, so then he knows still.
But he's coming on. He's gonna get back on.
All that stuff will still works.
Excuse me?
All of the invocations and the offerings, that works, but he has to do that. It's just like, you could have the spirituality, but you gotta put the work in.
Exactly, and I told him that. I told him he has to get on the webinar. He has to be able to say he's white. He has to be able to do those, speak those things, and stand on those things, and it will come eventually. It's been a real struggle, and I see where even with me helping, I have to sometimes, go aside and replenish myself, because even in the field, as you know, with nurses, you get burnt out. You pull on, other people.
You gotta keep either quartz crystal or shungite with you.
Oh yeah, all right. I got my shungite at the house. I need to get another one to put on myself. All right, much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Hernando, so going back to this is the ultimate reality of darkness. And so now that people see that there's more darkness or absence of light than there is light, that brings things to a whole different level. So this is, again, our flag, and this is what it is. So we're the only ones that have, hue, hue, female and male on a flag. No other nation has one. Whether they're indigenous or to have both male and female, you're not going to see that anywhere.
Now, Chief, I know you mentioned the mound, the meaning of the mound, which is awesome. So I understand that. Yeah. So just so I have overstanding of the colors again. So the green is earth, correct?
Land, correct?
Oh, land, blood,
carbon.
And what about the gold or yellow?
Oh, gold is healing. This is also a sun. That's awesome. Why our characters
figured
the script is on the outside.
Nice. Vitality, right?
Gold, healing.
Nice. Thank you.
That's what gold was used for healing. So, and then, everything is here, and then this is their aura. So this represents us around them, their aura. Do they have a healthy aura?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And let's see. All right, so then that is it. So we are done. This is going to be a classic. I know there's going to be a lot of people. When they see this recording, they will be blown away. They will be totally surprised. Go ahead, Randall.
Greetings, Chief. Hold on, I got a number out here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Flag, on the flag, what did the color black stand for?
Carbon. Darkness.
Okay.
Darkness is supreme balancing.
All right. I just missed that last one.
Oh, no problem. All right, everyone. So that is it for our AutochthonSPonUNIDAY process that we've done today on the UN International Day for the World's Indigenous People. So this video is in compliance and is evidence of our nation's indigenous standing, recognized as an indigenous nation, asserting our right to self-determination as granted and emphasized by Pope Francis, saying, I encourage the downtrodden to change the world economic order. And he also said the indigenous people have the final say about their land. So it's time for those of you who have your indigenous heritage to come forth and tell the world. This is important. If you don't do it now, forget about it. There's nothing going to happen in the future. So this will prove with beyond a shadow of a doubt who Asakata Nation is, who I am, my claims, everything that we've been doing that's been accomplishing, and we're causing changes within the matrix. So we are the solution. There's no one else that can beat what I've done. Nobody on the planet, in the planet, in this solar system. And I dare say the universe, because the word black has no standing at law, and nobody, even in the UFO community, the people who are into their dark magic, nobody's talking about that. I said, you don't know, you uttering a word that means pale, that means that's going to affect your magic work. All right, so everyone have a great shadow hour. We'll have this recording up for everyone, and for those who see it, we'll have the link there, so you can download it. If not, then you can download it on YouTube. Make sure you have Real Player. If you have Real Player, you can download all my videos onto Real Player. All right, everyone have a great shadow hour. Abjugadur, Abjugadur, Abjugadur.
Abjugadur.